Okay, are we live? I think we're on. Are we
Oh,
going?
oh, oh. Welcome
Welcome in.
to Rem and Sam Live.
Whoa! We're here. I don't know if
What?
we're
Rem and
back or
Sam.
we're
I don't.
starting. What's going on?
Always been here. What's going on?
Yeah, welcome in.
We
Kick your
we.
feet up.
Yeah. No. This is a little bit of a new format. I know Rem tested it out on Tuesday. I had to watch, of course, see what was cooking. But
I think it went
yeah.
okay.
No, we're live. We are live. Um.
And we're doing a watch along like we promised. We were hyping up a watch along and we managed to do it. We didn't know if UFA was actually going to get the streaming service pulled together because make no mistake, it was looking sketchy for a second. But we've got the games fired up in the background now. They're going on. The first game of the evening is already wrapped up. It was the Wind Show we're definitely playing. They were playing the DC Breeze, right?
Yep. So the wind chill. Wow, what a graphic on top of it. Shout out Run for the Pot. We may be looking at me in the past like 3 seconds, but
Whoa, Marvel.
anyway, but wind chill. The thing is, first of all, wind chill beat the DC Breeze 16-13, and the funny part about two teams that are air focused playing against each other is that the wind is a huge factor. Not only in this game, but already causing turnovers in the second game with the Seattle Cascades taking on the Carolina Flyers. But the wind chill definitely deserve to be here. I mean, both of these teams, DC Breeze and Wind Chill, have been fighting long and hard to get to this point. The Breeze always being knocked down by the Empire, and the Empire, going undefeated, doing what they do. But on the other side, the Wind Chill, we're in the semifinals last year. We're playing the Salt Lake Shred, and it went down to the wire. They had the score to win. Like, they were up by one with, I think it was like 10 seconds left. And somehow, at the very end, there's a crazy play. I don't know if I can send it to Rem so we can show it.
Yeah, drop it in the chat.
At the end of the game, it was a toss up into the end zone, and someone tipped it to another player in the end zone to take it to overtime, where the Shred won it. So, it was an insane ending to an insane game. Took the Shred to the playoffs, but it's crazy now that the Wind Chill now will be playing for a championship. And shout out to Dylan DeClark. He was on the pregame or postgame show talking. Former Iowa alum, had to shout him out. Or not former, but he's a former Iowa iHook. I don't know if he played on iHook, but he did go to Iowa. But yeah, shout out to Dylan DeClark and the rest of Wind Chill going to the finals.
And we just got the Cascade on a score on a deep play too. I don't know if the Cascade are similar to the Wind Chill in that way, where they kind of do the vertical stuff, but
yeah,
they
love the vertical.
They've got it tied up 2-2. Now, were the DC Breeze, were they in trouble every year because they were facing Jeff Babbitt? Because Babbitt was on the Empire, but he's in Boston now, right?
He's in Boston.
Did they beat Boston?
The Empire. No, the Empire were beaten by Boston Glory. They got beat in the quarterfinals. I think that was the pre-quarters, but it was the DC Breeze. They just have had continuous struggles playing Boston, and it kind of felt like they were the two best teams in the whole league, and they were just like, it was pretty much felt like it was a final just super early in the bracket. But now that the Empire are gone, the DC Breeze had to show up, especially with, DC Frisbee on the rise. Shout out to Truck Stop right now, #1 open men's team, and looking like very much favorites to repeat as national champs. Many of those players are on both teams. And DC Breeze, they now with no Empire, they had no excuse. And the Wind Chill, I mean, you could just see their energy was higher. And the Wind Chill they're more used to a messy game, a messy team. They're young players. They're more willing to adapt. While the Breeze tend to have more of a system. They have older players. They're more of, perfect conditions kind of. They're playing, their style of play lends better to perfect conditions where they give themselves very small regions for error. It's just, when you hit it, it's perfect. And I know the wind definitely affected them. While the wind chill, again, more college players, more players used to, really wide variance of where the throws can go and stuff. While the DC Breeze are much more focused on, precision and, getting it perfect. So it's not a surprise when you actually watch the highlights that wind chill won, just because of how crazy the wind is. And it's continuing now with the Flyers and Cascades. It's insane.
Okay, do you want to try to watch this highlight that you were talking about? I think we can try to get it pulled up. Okay, give us a second, folks. This is our first time doing the live, so if the tech doesn't go fully right the first time, give us a break. But I think we can get it.
Shout out the Cascades. They have a chance to take the lead right now on a break. They just took a timeout.
I think we can get this working.
2-2 right now. Oh.
Okay, so what was this? What was this highlight again?
Let me see. Is it playing? So 17 seconds left. Wind chill is up by 1 to go to the finals. Last year in Minnesota practice field stadium, the Vikings NFL team.
Oh, in the dome.
Yeah.
Look at this.
In the dome.
The sky cam.
They have barely any time, so they toss it up. It's floating forever.
Whoa!
Yep. And the Shred go on to win in overtime. But yeah, it was an insane play. Went up, tapped it, one hand, right into Jaime's hands, and yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So that's how close the wind chill were to being in the final last year. And so that's why, they definitely deserve to be in it again this year. And with the Cascades, they have their own nail-biting story themselves, taking out the hometown, Salt Lake Shred. Shred went up by 2, and they weren't able to. And then the Cascades went up by 3. And then the Shred came near the end of the game to take it back. It was a really, really back and forth game. But the Cascades just had that, just had that mental toughness to stay in the game. It was really close. It was like 19-19. The whole crowd's cheering, and because they're on the road and they got the win. So Cascades, tough team, even though they are down here by 1, just because Carolina started with the disc. They didn't break them. But the wind is really a factor. This has already been like 4 or 5 turnovers that are just, the disc is just crazy. It's just out of range. Frisbee when it's windy is just crazy. It makes everyone look like they're trash. Like it doesn't matter how windy it is.
Wait, is this a neutral court or neutral field? Or
yeah, so they're in Salt Lake.
Oh, Salt Lake. Wow, Salt Lake getting all the events. They've got the Olympics in 2032.
Shout out.
On the rise. Ryan Smith.
So right now, Flyers, all holds right now, 3-2. We'll see how it ends up, but don't be surprised to see some crazy stuff tonight, because the wind, you can see that when the disc is wobbling like that, it's insane.
So who are the players to watch in this game? Are there any names?
Yeah, there's definitely names. On the
any all UFA
Flyers,
guys?
There is a rookie they have from Colorado, a college kid called Tobias Brooks. He's been insane this year, playing really well. Also on their team, I'd look out for the really tall guy, Henry Fisher. When it's windy and the disc is floating, that's when you want your tall guys. Fisher, he already caught a score in the last point. And that's the thing, is that the Flyers do have bigger players, I'd say. Definitely bigger. Yeah, they have some huge. So Tobias Brooks, Anders Youngst. He's a pretty short but really good handler. Also, shout out the Flyers coach, Mark Denardis, Iowa alum. did analyze the
Wow.
tape while we were
Iowa
there.
taking over Frisbee.
Yeah. He did actually help us out too. I analyzed our film a couple years back. So, yeah, no, he's definitely helped us out at iHook. But and then on the Seattle Cascades, the number one name we always bring up, Khalif El Salam, one of the highest paid players in the UFA, Team USA guy, is definitely their superstar. They also have a really good defensive young guy, Lucas Ambrose. He just has their biggest covers. He's such a good defender. Beyond that, they also have a pretty tall handler. I'm trying to remember his name.
Ambrose? Our family used to really be into this pie called chocolate ambrosia pie. Pretty good. Big fan. Haven't had it in a minute.
Actually, I knew a president of a university called Ambrose University. St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose.
Oh my gosh.
Heard of that. Oh,
Carolina Flyers got their first break. Do you see how haphazard it is though? That wasn't,
Where's Fisher?
It's one of those things. I don't know if that's Fisher. Is that that's Fairfax or I'm trying to remember who's there's Fisher right next to him. Yeah, tall guy. Oh, that's Fairfax. Yeah, he's another good wide receiver, good cutter for them.
Wow,
but,
out of the
just
double
watching
team?
that point.
Oh no, this is a highlight.
Yeah, but look at that drop. It's tough though. You see the wind is just it throws everyone off. And even that wasn't even a pass to him. They only got a score because Khalif El Salam hit it like he should. Well, he should catch it really, but he hit it and then. Oh, did you get off air?
Do we have stream issues?
Oh gosh, we're both having stream issues. But
UFA. Oh no, this UFA site is got a Stream East partnership with how they're running this.
Did you see? I think Stream East posted or something we're never getting taken down. We got more.
I know they were going to war with
sites in there.
With the feds there for a second, and then I think
really?
I think the feds got him. But yeah, Stream East was really talking up big game for a second.
Oh, Stream East is down?
Well, I don't know if they're fully down, but what was it during? I think maybe the UFC fight this past weekend, the Adesanya fight.
Yeah.
I think the feds got him.
Well, it looks like the site's still up. So,
is there any UFA on there?
It says USA IP only. No, but there still is football. Which shout out to the Jaguars beating the Falcons 31-0. Also shout out to Papa Price. He is live on scene at the 49ers Raiders game. The Raiders at home. Yeah, he's in Vegas.
Papa Price in preseason?
Papa Price.
The man is, make no mistake, the man's a committed Raiders fan.
So, he is.
Or is he just
thinking... And who knows? This might be the one 49ers game they'll win, you know? You got to take every 49ers when you can.
He's just thinking this is as good as it's going to get for the year for the Raiders. Preseason is going to be their most competitive games this year. It's going to be their most closely even quarterback matchups. Do they have McConnell or Minshew going tonight? I think both of those guys are sitting. I don't even know who QB3 on the Raiders is.
But, with how... trying to think of what I was going to say. No, with how small that stadium is, that might be the only time to reasonably afford tickets. I mean, that stadium is just so...
We're the same age. And he's the quarterback on the Raiders. It is what it is sometimes, but
that's crazy. Just crazy.
Oh, did we lose Sam? Make no mistake, there's just going to be some technical issues during the stream. There's going to be Wi-Fi cuts. People are going to be going in and out. But I think he's back now.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. I was saying, it's just crazy to start off a game and be like, yeah, 37 players on this 53-man roster aren't going to be playing tonight. You're not getting half the team, the good half, too.
They've got wide receivers named Ramel Keaton.
Okay.
Latidria Griffin. Tyreek McAllister.
Oh, yeah. You haven't heard of Tyreek McAllister?
Sincere McCormick.
Oh, my gosh.
I think I might be stepping on our bit we're doing a little bit later. Oh, speaking of Team USA too, make no mistake, stay tuned. We got some spicy Team USA stuff lined up for Piercing Truth. Make no mistake.
Oh, you do?
Piercing
I'll write it
Truth.
down.
Probably the best segment on the podcast coming a little bit later. If you guys aren't familiar already.
Flag football stuff?
Oh, we already know Sam knows what's going on. There's no way Sam hasn't heard the word on the street.
Hey, look. We're throwing around names we shouldn't. That's all I gotta say. We'll get into it. Stick around.
When Sam hears things he doesn't like, it's on. Wait, were you able to get the game back on?
Let's see,
Are we just out of luck right now?
I don't know. Were you? I'm still off air.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that is another sad thing with Frisbee. You know, we ain't got enough money for good.
This just shows you
good equipment.
We're getting in early. Somebody stepped on the cord during the game, and the cameras just cut out.
Hey, guess which stream is still rolling though?
Stream
this
East?
This one right here.
Oh, yeah, Rem and Sam.
Yeah, Stream East too. Maybe they do need a partnership with Stream East. Learn how to keep locked in.
I know,
Man,
Stream East, just help out the UFA.
I'm really liking this graphic.
Do something
graphic
legal?
Is really cool.
Wait.
Maybe we'll snag some. How many watchers we got? Oh, shout out.
Shout out to anybody that's dedicated enough to the UFA to watch a watch party. But sometimes you just got to stand on the street corner and start yelling, you know?
Yeah. Can we get some likes in the chat? Chat. Start pulling ice speed.
Hey, chat.
Ice show speed. Chat.
Kai Samat.
W's in the chat. I won't give my UFA championship pick until I get enough likes in the chat.
How many likes do we have to get before Sam drops his UFA championship pick? DJ Samademics on the stream.
Oh gosh.
We'll workshop a nickname.
BETSTAMP. You have the links. Is Rem on it like that?
Do we need to throw to commercial?
Of course it's on it. I love that we still have DRF SPORTSBOOk.
Oh, are they still in there?
Chat,
Do I need to take them out?
Yeah. Hey, we support.
It's just for the memories.
We stand with them.
Just for the memories.
You know?
Are they on top?
No, they're at the bottom one.
Okay, good. Shout out to DRF Sportsbook. In case you guys didn't know, it was a local sportsbook to the hometown state that is just, the operations have ceased, but the times were still fun while they lasted.
Very.
Good times all around. Very supportive crew over there at DRF Sportsbook. But
R.I.P.
I feel like we do have good taste in, you know, who we pick to partner with.
Yeah.
BetStamp, Pure Vita, still chugging along, doing good?
Still chugging along. All right, we got our first chat. Shout out.
What's up, chat? Can we drop polls in the chat?
Oh,
IT.
Let's put it. Can we put?
Step it up.
We can do a poll.
What poll do we need to drop?
Jeez.
So
do you have any do you have any fantasy football drafts coming up? I got one like the day before the season starts. I think early September.
You're in a league this year?
I'm in a church league, but I also do like some chill leagues.
So I feel like I've kind of stayed away from pushing into doing any leagues this year. I feel like my move might just be to do like daily fantasy or like just the weekly fantasy teams instead of doing a full-on draft, deal with a team every week, and then you've got people in the league that aren't committed to the team. Plus, I've always really wanted to be in a league that actually has stakes as well too, because
so you're like paying for it and stuff.
Yeah, and then people are actually like locked in, at least to some degree, but I know there is a pretty good history of people also not paying attention to their paid leagues as well too. It's not like, you know, $5 is going to break the bank at the end of the day. So
is the stream back?
$5, $10.
Streets are saying the stream is back. The stream is back.
Whoa!
I have to go to Flyers Ultimate for their stream, but the stream is back. We're back. California Flyers up 5-3. And it looks like they got their O-line out there, the offensive line. They're chugging away. Shout out to Tobias Brooks with Khalif El-Salam on him. Imagine you're a college kid and you have a national team player on him. Shoot, that's almost Cooper Flag stuff.
Is this guy
That
Cooper
is Cooper Flag stuff. Wait a minute.
Is this guy Cooper Flag level?
Yeah, Tobias Brooks. He is. I'm all in like
Whoa,
that.
the Cooper Flag
the way
of the
he's
UFA.
he's playing at a pro level. He's a freshman in college, and he just finished his freshman year, and he's already playing at a pro level. Like he's a big contributor on like an obviously at least a top 4 team in the the pros. He's playing against grown men, so. And I love watching him be.
Wait, which number is he? 11?
Oh gosh. Oh, someone injured.
No.
I love watch. He's the guy who keeps touching number 1, which also is tough to get. That's a tough number to get.
Oh, that's like an honorary
Flyers
number?
Ultimate ended their live stream.
We're back on UFA,
no,
though.
it's like, number 1. Everyone wants number 1.
It's back up on the UFA, too.
Yeah. But no, it's a tough number to get. Obviously, everyone wants number 1, but he's really good. Tobias Brooks is the truth. I'll tell you that. And no, what I was about to mention, I love watching him as a handler because he'll do all these fakes that like it looks like he's about to force it in somewhere, but I know like he can actually make it into those areas because he's just that good. So, but shout out, Seattle. Dean, this was the other guy I meant to talk about. He's a tall handler.
Like you said in the win.
And then the guy holding it right now, number 2, is
he's a handler.
He's a great player. But Seattle gets the break to go up back 5-4. Shout out Lucas Ambrose. You see, he be laying out. That's a great layout block. That's so hard to do as a player because you gotta make sure you don't take out the guy in process of doing that, and then you have to like lift your inside shoulder and like reach in with your outside to like smack it, and then land smack dab on that shoulder that you just reached out with. That, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, but
Is 99 an honorary number?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he's the Khalif El-Salam. He's the Team USA guy.
Is he the only Team USA guy on the field right now?
Yeah, I think Ambrose, he might be young enough to be on an under 24.
Like
Anders Youngst for the Flyers. Yeah, Anders Youngst for the Flyers. He made the open team. Yeah, I don't know. Tobias Brooks might make it. He's that good. Shout out. Yeah, Tobias Brooks is Cooper Flag.
You are all in.
Oh my gosh. I'm all in. When you have Khalif El-Salam having to cover you and you just finished your freshman year in college on a team that like they're known for their like handlers, like they have a lot of good throwers on this team. Like they wouldn't put him in this position if they didn't think he was really, really good.
Oh, he's a freshman?
So he's a sophomore this year, but yeah, he was a freshman. Took his team to the semifinals, Colorado.
So there is no like restrictions in going pro for UFA. You can just go whenever you want.
No. Yeah. If you're good enough.
If there's
you can have 15-year-olds out there.
Yeah, if there's like a Luka Doncic for UFA, they would just put him in there at 15.
Yeah, they would. Good enough. I mean, I think you got to start getting into parent consent. I don't know. Pay contracts and
Can
all
he
that.
travel?
But, yeah, I don't know. Also, shout out Anders Youngst juking his guy out to score.
I mean, the UFA championships though this week school is starting back up, so kind of nice that
it is. It is
back up.
Exactly, it does. Which they do on purpose because I mean, a lot of these guys are
college.
Person's game. Yeah, a lot of these guys either finish college or grad school or something, and it's a young person's game. It's just so tough to play it once you graduate college. Or, you're living real life. Which is what I'm dealing with, but, you ain't got to talk about that.
Shout out our guy, Wet and Gale.
Wet and Gale, the GOAT. We'll get him on here one day.
Wet and Gale,
maybe
call
this
into
would
the
be a good
stream.
time. Maybe we got to hit him up. I mean, college season hasn't started. There's some club season
sadly, the teams he's been on haven't been good enough for nationals. They will be, but right now they haven't been quite there. So I think Cincinnati Omen. Oh, Cascades just threw a turnover. Save the Flyers score. Oh, is the stream? We still on?
Are we still on?
I don't know. I'm having the stream in the background. It seems like we're on.
Okay,
Oh.
good. I was just checking something. We did just get a warning, but I thought I made it. I was like, I didn't make a joke that bad this early, I thought, but it was it was technical difficulties. It wasn't content.
Can you see the stream in my glasses? Are we getting... I know. I'm like, can you see the stream in my glasses? Are we getting copyright strike? So right now, interesting situation that only happens in the yeah. Right now, only interesting situation that only happens in the UFA because it's the only, besides like other pro leagues, it only happens in the pros because it's timed. There's 0.8 left on the clock, I think. Let me see, how much time was left on the clock? Maybe the clock was glitching. Oh, it was actually 8 minutes. Okay. Sometimes the clock glitches and then it just shows that there's 0.8 seconds left. But that is something to watch at the end of quarters is the time and how you pretty much see plays you don't see at any other level of Frisbee because all others play to a score and not a time. So what happened, the Flyers actually had an interesting case because I think we talked about this already, in the quarterfinals, they were up by 1 and they killed like over 4 minutes just passing the disc. And that would never happen in a club game. Like they wouldn't intentionally do it like the Flyers did. So, who knows?
El Salam's gonna have to put the team on his back.
He did last game.
He's gonna have to start carrying.
He did last game. Just finished watching that game today. Actually.
So they're not here. It's not like he's carried the team this far. Like this is a good team, like you were saying, right? This is still like a stacked team.
Yeah, you can't have like just one good player, unless you become the Pittsburgh, who is like the second worst team in the league.
What about Babbitt?
But, well, there's other good players on there. They have Stubbs, John Stubbs, who used to be on what was it called? He used to be on Empire. They also have Ryan Cable. He's used to be college guy on that team. He's a great player. There's a couple other players on their team. They have some good handlers. But yeah, I mean, like the Seattle, they have 3 or 4 stars. They have Cleveland Salam, they have Lucas Ambrose, they have Dean. So there's like 3 or 4 good players. That's what you need. You need 3 or 4 good, like really good all-stars. Pretty much like a basketball team. And then, some other solid role players, and then like just a good bench.
How many timeouts do you get? Seattle just had a time. They were just on timeout.
No, I think you have 2. Yeah, I think you only have 2, but it's almost halftime, so.
Oh yeah, okay. They're at the bottom. They're like football.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I think they're on 2.
Okay, if the broadcast for UFA's got one thing right, they've got the little scorecard at the bottom locked in.
Yeah.
Shout out UFA.
So I think they're calling a timeout. So when you're on a timeout, normal club Frisbee is you can switch a player 1 for 1 or 2 for 2 or something. And especially if there's an injury, you can do that. In UFA, they can change out their whole lines. So when they have a timeout, they can put their whole defensive line and put their whole offensive line. So I think just now they took a timeout to bring their whole offensive line back in because they had to bring their whole defensive line because Carolina Flyers took a timeout and brought their offensive line. So that they're just switching who's on offensive defense, But it's only on timeouts, for UFA, unless the point is over. But in theory, everyone should be able to play offense and defense. But, there's just that chemistry, though, that's different when you're on offense.
So what are the 2 main offensive schemes called for Frisbee again?
So the main one, which they mostly do in the pros and all high level, they just chucked it up for a break. To score a break, and the Flyers just missed. I think they're falling. It's tough. The main offensive system, it was windy.
That one blew out the right side. Pause.
They have the vert stack, so vertical stack. So what they're doing right now is everyone's lined up in one line, And then
Vert stack,
for
okay.
good team, yeah, vert stack. And then for good teams like this, they'll kind of have like 2 or 3 players at the bottom near the disc who will be like kind of passing around, all holding the disc. So they call it like there's 2 handlers who are throwing, then there's 1 person who's setting the stack, setting that line, and that number 1 is called he's just setting stack, and he can be called a thrower too, because if those 2 aren't able to get it, then that third person who's at the bottom of the line has to come back and get that disc. So, but most times it's just a vert stack, so it's just a line and everyone takes turns. Essentially,
Seattle, they're cascading right now. They're falling apart.
They're cascading. They are.
Is that right?
They just got another break on them. 7-4. Yeah, you're right. 7-4.
What is the cascade?
The Flyers
like
showing that quality. I don't know. It looks like a monster. Their logo, their mascot's kind of weird.
Yeah, I saw like the background of one of their logos. It was like, I just saw like a pair of
Yeah,
eyes.
it's like an ape or a monkey or something. I don't know.
Oh no.
But the Flyers are flying.
3 for 9 on their breaks. What's a good break percentage in a game? The Flyers are at 33% right now.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, but like, what's an average?
That's the thing with frisbee is that perfect. Usually like you want 60%, I would say. 60-70%. You want to hit most of your breaks,
Okay.
especially if you want to beat a good team. Yeah.
So these teams are.
But the
being
thing is
sloppy with
that
breaks.
yeah, well the thing is that this game is really windy, so there's gonna be a lot of turnovers, so a lot of chances for breaks. But then at the same time, it's tough to cash in those breaks because it's windy. So, but yeah, it makes sense. It's just at this point, it's just execution
Oh.
kind of thing.
Like right here, we've got a big drop by Carolina.
Well, he got
Was that
hit
off his hands?
or by Seattle. Khalif Alsalan. No, he got his arm smacked while he tried to catch it.
I might be a little behind.
Oh, what second are you at?
4:30.
What's your time? 4:30. Oh, he's ahead of me. Whoa.
Whoa, I'm ahead?
Whoa.
For the
He's
second?
ahead.
Oh, that's right. I logged into this stream.
Okay,
Stream
here we go.
first.
Here you go. No, you're right. Okay, we're back. I'm with you. Seattle's fighting. Oh, Lucas Ambrose tried to lay out for it, but guess who got that block? Oh, that's not Tobias Brooks. That's the other
Tobias
dude.
Brooks?
Dude. No, that's the other dude on defense.
Look out,
Also has
Whitengale.
floppy here.
We're not trying to make you jealous.
Hey, look, Man, Cascades are definitely fighting right now. Oh, what a block. The big man. The big fella, Dean.
Oh, Carolina
my
returns
gosh.
the favor. A block on their
Elijah
end.
Long gets the block. I'm telling you, but you see, it's because the disc was behind. It's not his fault. Also, I have those gloves Elijah Long does. Shout out my girlfriend. Got it for me.
Ooh.
Personalized.
You are on the way up right now in your frisbee career. So.
Khalif. Oh, you got to play better than that. Khalif, get there. Oh, Khalif Al-Salam gets beat in the end zone. That was a big momentum loss for Cascades because now you're down by 4. There's still like 3 minutes up. If the Flyers are smart, they'll keep pushing their advantage. And you just went all the way to your end zone. You had a whole lot of chances and you weren't able to cash it in. And then they come and beat the best player. Your best player just got beat on defense. His thing. And he's taunting. He's showing the disc in his face. That's what we say. He's taunting him, the best player. And it's windy and it's cold and it's getting dark. I'm telling you, games like this suck. I'm telling you, being on the other end, it sucks.
So when
you're losing and you're cold?
Why are they playing the championship game outdoors? Because this is like when they play the Super Bowl outdoors. It's like we have all these dome stadiums. I get there are certain good cities for it, but I mean, you get the Colts with Manning. They had to win their Super Bowl in the rain. Put them in a dome.
Well, because it allows for craziness like this to happen. Because if it was indoors, all the throws would be perfect. It's kind of cheating. And so for Frisbee, we like to do it outdoors just because, I don't know, there's like there's like a macho of it, and it's just like, oh, you're really playing like authentic frisbee, which is sadly why the Alley Cats get a lot of flack, because they do play indoors, which may have something to do why they're not able to, really figure it out. Ooh, Munoz!
Oh, did he get that?
He caught
Did
it!
he get that?
He caught it!
Oh, the
Munoz,
diving catch by
that's
Munoz.
What a
Wait,
wow,
did
that's
I get
crazy.
that name right?
O-line dog, yeah.
He's definitely an O-line player. He's huge for this team.
Wow.
That's
Right
that's
when-
a big
Yeah, right when the
that's
momentum
one way
was
to get the swing back.
right when it was shifting. Wow. Oh, that's clean too. Is there any?
Yeah, it's
what's the
clean.
rules on the frisbee touching the ground? Is it like the football, where
Yeah.
if you control
Yeah,
it,
anything touches the ground, you're done.
is there a control element to it, or is it like if you get it the grass in the hand at like the same time, it's just kind of be out?
No, if it touches the grass at the same time, then it's done.
Hmm.
But
Wow,
that's why
what a
they play on
dive.
turf. Because that's why I play on turf. Because I played on fields where the grass is so high and it's so bogus. Like it like barely. It's like 6 inches off the ground and it still touches the grass. And you're like, all right, like if this is a turf field, that's up. Like, so that's why they play on turf.
UFA,
Which,
send
you
us
know,
to
is
this
hard.
next year. This is great.
I'm telling
wanna
you,
be
it's
on
fun.
scene for
Frisbee
the-
is exciting.
For the UFA semis, the championship weekend, the Final Four.
Yeah.
Final Four.
No,
weekend.
and Frisbee is a really, in my opinion, a pretty easy game to watch just because the disc floats. Like, it's not going that fast. Like, honestly, besides the camera tracking it, like the biggest plays, you can see the disc float. Like, so you can usually figure out wherever the action is happening. And it's like, it's kind of like a satisfying thing when it, wow, Tobias Brooks.
Tobias
Dog.
Brooks.
Dog. He's only a sophomore. What a dog. Get it. I told you, he's him.
Can he even drive by himself?
Oh my gosh. Tobias Brooks is that guy. And he's actually a handler. He's supposed to throw the disc.
Whoa, the
He's
vert.
the D1 2024 Rookie of the Year for D1 Frisbee
Wow.
this past year. Yup.
Tobias Brooks is the next big thing. And this is wait, so where is he in the hierarchy of players on this team? Is he the second best player on this team? The best player on this team? Is Tobias Brooks the 17-year-old kid? You're saying he's taking this team to the championship game.
Look,
Tobias
man,
Brooks.
look.
Just watching this team from last year to this year, it's night and day with him. And they have, Andrews Youngs has taken a really big step up. He's now on, him being on the Team USA. He's really taken that, and who else on the team? Fisher. They have some really good pieces, but the thing with Carolina is a lot of their players have retired. Eric, Liam Searles Bowes used to be there. Eric Taylor. Like, they've had a lot of players get older and retire. And some of those UNC players are pretty good. I don't know, Ben Dameron, for some reason, he used to play on the Flyers. He's not here. Rutledge Smith, he's also another great college player. He's not here for some reason. So Tobias Harris is just coming to the scene and seized it with both hands, just like he did with that. Just snatched it down, and he's a dog. He's a dog. He's from the Carolina area, played on the Triforce Ultimate Team. So he's homegrown, and Carolina loves nothing more than a homegrown great player. They keep chunking him out, and Brooks might be the best one. I don't know. Jack Williams, also from this system.
If Jack
Like,
Williams
used
is
to
in the
play on
mix,
Flyers.
he's got I can't forget about him.
He's the other one, but beyond that, I don't. It's just his athleticism and how big he can get, but also his range of throws. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mark Munoz scoring again as well too, or I didn't really see what happened. Assisting, involved in the play in some degree. So,
yeah,
stepping up in a big way.
So figuring out the player pauses every time I switch tabs, so that's why I keep being behind. But yeah, Munoz probably touches the disc the most for the Cascades on offense. He's just their really pretty much their best mix of a cutter, like he's fast, but also
So is he
throws.
is he like a
really
Jaylen
safe
Brown
throws.
to El Salam's Tatum?
Oh, that's a good one.
Is that a
That's a
comp?
good one. Yeah, because
Okay.
when it's bad, it's pretty bad.
Oh, he can't go
He's
left?
a smaller guy. It's he doesn't have that big a weakness, but it doesn't look great when he's not like a physically imposing guy. Oh, can he make this catch? Oh, wow. Cascades had a chance to bring it to 2,
Couldn't get it.
and Brown cannot catch it. Tried to toe tap.
Has Munoz been
18
spotted
seconds
with?
left in the half.
Has he been spotted with any UFA stars?
We'll see. There's PUL.
Tobias
Premier
Brooks might
Ultimate
be.
League. Who knows?
Yeah,
We'll
put this
see.
guy
The
on Team
Flyers
USA.
right now have 10 seconds to get the score. Oh, Brooks. 8, 7. So here we go. They got to put it up soon here. Oh my gosh. What a bad throw. So you see, like that one, yeah, they just toss it up. So going into the half, the Flyers up 9-6 over the Cascades, and it's looking like we're headed for a Flyers wind chill final. I don't know. I don't want to count out Cascades, but the talent difference is noticeable. You can see the way the Flyers just, I think 1 through 7, you can just see it's more solid of a team, while the Cascades have some stars, which is the reason why they're able to beat the Shred. But I don't know if their stars have enough in it to beat it. I mean, that one time Khalif El-Salam got beaten in the end zone was crazy. You can't have that happen.
The Flyers better make sure that Tobias Brooks gets a job in North Carolina. He cannot be transferred out of state and go play for these other teams when he gets out of school.
You can't. I mean, he's already going to Colorado for school, so he's already getting a mix of different states.
Oh,
so
no.
They better watch out.
You can't let him leave.
You better watch out.
You got to lock him in. Is he like,
Lock him in.
I mean, are we talking like best player in the UFA type potential with him? I mean, you keep saying, Cooper Flagg, he's already on the best player on a team potentially at this level.
No, I mean, you still got to respect the Jeff Babbitt. I
don't mean like right now, but is that, is that like in his trajectory?
He's definitely on them. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely, I'd put him up there just because of how young he is and how good he is already. I mean, so this last year's winner, Aiden Downey, Callahan winner, like he's a decent player for the hustle, but like one thing with Frisbee that you'll notice real quick is how much a team will trust their players, just like any other team, but you will really notice it with Frisbee because if they trust you, you're going to touch the disc all the time. Like they're going to find a way to get it to you every single time. While like if they don't, like they'll kind of have you in the system. Like it's not like they don't like you, but the number of points you'll play, stuff like that is where you'll notice it. And Brooks is out there all the time. I mean, any chance they can get him out there, he's out there. And just for them to toss up that throw into double coverage, that's the real faith you see in this team that really hates making bad decisions. They love really smart throws. They emphasize, almost, they like attacking deep still like any other team, but they really emphasize making smart throws over some other teams, not attacking if you don't have to. And for them to have to trust Brooks like this with his age and, where he's from the system, he's definitely on the career path for greatness and higher than any other level because Jack Williams really came onto the scene maybe later, like sophomore year, senior, junior year, but he wasn't like this, like professionally this young. So I don't know. We're really watching greatness with Brooks.
This is really the moment for Tobias Brooks. This is kind of his, well, I guess this is the first time I've ever watched him play.
Coming out game.
Yeah, it's his breakout game for me. But I mean, the semis as well too, big stage. What again did they do in their path to get here? Do you know like what his performances were? Who did they beat and stuff? Like how dominant their performances were beforehand?
I mean, they did play last They did play in the quarters, and they beat. Who did they beat? Why am I forgetting? I was just watching it. It was a while ago.
Oh, the Hustle?
They beat the Hustle. So the Hustle, who have Aiden Downey, and that's where I got to see like the comparison between the two. And I think Brooks didn't play that much. He didn't have as much of a big role in that game. They kind of allowed him to be in the system. He didn't really impose his will on that game. But it's probably the big lights. It's his first postseason. He still did his thing. Let me see if I can find stats from players.
And it was a close game as well, too, 17-16. So are the Flyers and the Wind Chill the two best teams in the league, if that's what the championship game comes down to? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, I was worried about the Wind Chill having to upscale as the players, if they could handle that pressure, but they did just fine.
Yeah, I mean, Klein's an all UFA guy, so I would assume.
Yeah. So let me see. Brooks, he played a bit, a couple points. He had 1 assist, 0 goals, but he didn't have, I think, is it these turnovers, throwaways, time stalled, drops. Let me see. Yeah, he 2-1. Yeah, he did. He had 2 hockey assists. He did have 1 throwaway, but I mean, so it was a pretty quiet game from him. Last game, they had some players that were really pumping out. Andrews Youngst for the Flyers had a really good game. He had 3 assists, 6 goals. So it was another handler who was really cooking for them. Laviolette, Elijah Long. The other pretty much all the 2 other main handlers on offense. But yeah, you can definitely see like a fire was put under him. At the end of the last game, being like, hey, you need to go out there and, don't be scared of the moment. And we see him. He's dominating. I mean, that was a great catch. It was, jeez Louise.
So is there anything to take away from this first half in terms of, like, team building-ish type stuff? Because I know it's harder for them with, because like you're saying, some of the outside influences, people just moving around for jobs, and so like real world stuff they necessarily can't control. But you said that the Flyers were like extremely more talented, I guess, than the Cascade. So are there things like schematically that they can do here in the second half to try to catch back up, or is this just we got to play our best frisbee, and then they're actually a move or two in the offseason away from competing actually and getting into the championship mix?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cascades, their talent is there. They have the talent. There's not, I don't think they're going to get a lot of moves. I think for them, they do need a little bit more discipline on offense. I think there's just times it kind of feels like they're freestyling too much, and they don't have as much of a system, which I think they need a little bit more of a system. They need to figure out, like, who's going to be where, what time.
Pete Carroll just said he's down to coach again.
Who knows? Bring him back.
Can we get Pete Carroll on the Cascade?
Gosh.
He'll bring in some discipline.
But, yeah, I mean, it's not – they weren't it wasn't necessarily like a horrible, it wasn't like necessarily a horrible half. For them, I don't think I don't think Seattle. There was a lot of throwaways and stuff, but it would be good. I think for them, it's just locking in mentally, like still giving it their all, because they had some of those. Khalif El-Salam, it looked like he gave up. He was,
and he wasn't even.
He
was nowhere to be seen on that Tobias Brooks deep catch that highlight play that happened near the end of the first half there, where and Tobias Brooks got that over 3 guys. And again, Salam is not one of the 3 where you were saying he was the best player on the team covering him earlier in the game.
Well, I don't know if he was covering him at that point.
That's what I'm saying. So, what happened?
They definitely...
Him off, or was he
doesn't play. They don't play every D-line, but but I would say they, for
Seattle, I mean, I would look to also him to impose his will a little bit here. And yeah, they just need to make sure they're not giving the other team the moral victory, that they're not giving up, just like they did in the last game. Last game they went down a couple, not this many, but went down a couple to the Salt Lake, and they have to make sure they don't give up in their heads before the game is over. But I definitely
106
think
completions. 106 for 120 for the completions
yeah.
for the Flyers. 96 for 113 for the Cascade.
Oh jeez.
4 for 12 on the D line conversions for the Flyers. 1 for 7 for the Cascade. Ooh, and the Hucks as well too. Not good.
Yeah. Just a little more mental focus. They'll be fine. I think the main thing is they need to calm down. They do seem a bit nervous, so.
It's crazy too because they have the closer trip, right? Seattle to Salt Lake versus Carolina.
Yeah,
Salt Lake.
but remember Seattle was their
last game. It was a couple of weeks ago, but they did play a game there.
Ooh.
Against Salt Lake. Yeah, so.
Can we live bet this? Does BetStamp have UFA odds?
I don't know.
Second
about
half,
that,
can I get the Cascade? Because if they're still in it,
It's second half.
it might be a juicy bet.
Who knows?
BetStamp, let's get that going. That would help get the UFA some money to get the cameras working. Get some IT guys that won't step on the board.
Able to bet. You used to be able to put bets down, but
I mean, I'm sure.
out there,
I'm sure if we went to the game, we could find some guys in the stands to make some bets with.
Yeah, probably Colin.
Some guys.
While they're getting warmed up, you want to do our fantasy football? Talk a little bit about.
Oh yeah, we were gonna
football
talk some fantasy stuff. Wait, you said you had a league coming up?
A what?
You said you had a league, a draft on the horizon? You were preparing for a draft?
Yeah, in September, yeah. Yeah, church league. I'll probably join some other leagues, but something interesting I did see is YouTube TV is allowing you to link your yahoo.com and NFL.com fantasy teams to their streaming site, and then it'll switch between your fantasy players' highlight plays on Sunday or whenever they're playing. Yeah, you can switch in between. So, obviously ESPN would be preferable, or even Sleeper, but Yahoo.com and NFL.com are the ones right now. So it just got recently announced. So,
and I feel like Yahoo's starting to trend upwards right now as a platform where people are playing fantasy on a lot. But this is why the NFL is the most money into it. This is why they're the best sport, because they can just figure out all this little extra interactive stuff. The NBA just doesn't have this type of thing. I was just talking to somebody about this. They were asking
not that many millions, I guess.
Yeah, but they were just like asking, they're asking me if they thought that if fantasy football was good for, if fantasy sports were good for it. It's like, yeah, everybody watches because of their fantasy team. The NBA would love to have people playing fantasy like this. And this, again, if people are watching for their fantasy teams, now the fact that you can actually plug in like this and, just get it. This is the whole thing streaming services have been gearing toward, is that customization and that algorithmic, is that the right word, type stuff. But that seems a little bit easier to do with the content library things, where the live stuff you haven't necessarily been able, there's no algorithm with the live stuff, which is kind of the beauty of the live stuff. You just get what you get. But the fact that they're actually crossing over into that now with the fantasy stuff is just why the NFL has always been one step ahead. It's pretty crazy. I'm thinking now, do I have to just join a Yahoo fantasy league just to get that going? Because that just seems like a cool way to watch it too. Now, is it watching, it's not like the live stuff, right? It's just like, what, if your guy scores, it just shows you that touchdown? Like, is it custom red zone for your fantasy league? Oh, did we lose him again?
NFL.com. Oh,
You're
are we
back
here?
in.
Okay. So it seems like it used to be just the stats. It's for NFL.com, and now this year, Yahoo Fantasy. You could add your leagues and then add your teams, and then you could just look at the stats. And while watching, and then you hit scores and stats. But I guess the feature later this year, and soon fantasy football players will start seeing key plays and multi-view combinations tailored to their fantasy lineups.
Yeah, so
That is what
multi-view games, so you could pick like your wide receiver one, your running back one, your quarterback, and just throw them all on at the same time.
Promising. So we'll see. I don't know.
But I guess you could do that anyways
there's-
with the multi-view, right? Because you could just select the games that you wanted.
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't know when your player makes a big play unless you.
Yeah, it
check.
gives you the highlights
You know.
and the bouncing around.
Yeah, I mean it'll switch. Yeah, and then
that's
also you can do a broadcast delay, or you can do spoiler mode where you don't see scores from other things. I don't know. YouTube TV is kind of.
And that's a sneaky good point you just brought up there too, where you don't have to check, because especially with stuff that's being watched on TV, what's one of the biggest things that's killing TV? It's people being on their phones while they're watching TV. So when you go on your phone to check your fantasy league, I mean, you're not just going to check your fantasy league. You're going to go check, probably your Snapchat, and then you're probably going to end up scrolling Instagram for a little bit. And I know the game's going to get on, you're going to get the rating or whatever, but just in general, like that, now you don't even have to necessarily even go to your phone. Like you're saying, yeah, to check your fantasy league is just going to keep you more engaged in the NFL and in the TV and all that stuff too, which is just another added benefit.
Well, and we could actually shout out Stream East for this, because
Stream East.
Tobias Briggs tried to just get a hammer, because showing the game is not enough anymore. Just showing the game, that's not enough. They gotta put in more to bring the presentation, just because they know, like, you don't want to officially say it, but they know they're competing with illegal streams for these games, for these viewers. And why would you pay to watch just the plain vanilla stream when you can look it up? But now when you bring these tailored stuff, when you're able to switch from stream to stream based on players, you see the stats, you're able to hide scores from other games, even though I'm not sure how they'll do that if the broadcasts show highlights from other games. I don't know how much that works. But it's definitely that fantasy team thing, I think, is something that I think we'll get. If it works, I could definitely see it like be a reason people would watch. And let's see if the Cascades coming out of half, looked a little bit frustrated, but they're fighting back. Frisbee's a game of runs, only down by one after another break with 8 minutes left in the third. Let's see. They're getting into it.
They've held the Flyers scoreless for almost the first 4 minutes. I mean, the Flyers are about to get the chance here, so we'll see what happens next.
He got wide open by shoving his guy. Tobias Brooks tried to get the hammer. The young blood trying to do a little too much.
We overhyped him at the half. It's what it is. We jinxed him.
But he's still getting what he wants against, one of the best defenders in the nation. Top 3 for sure. So we'll see.
Still some impressive tape.
Yeah. We'll see. 9-8. 9-8. Wait, why are they? Oh, they're throwing it to me. I'm spazzing.
So what happens with the touchback? Oh, you just throw it out. Okay.
Yeah, well, if it's all the way in the back of the end zone, then it goes to the front. But it just rolled out, so they got to take it from the back line.
If they throw the Frisbee in the stands, do you get to keep the Frisbee?
Yeah, I think so.
No way.
Apparently, the UFA Frisbee disc is like specifically engineered in a certain way. Oh, Tobias Brooks.
Oh!
Chucked it up. Oh, he got it. Wow. Wow.
Another Hail
Brooks
Mary for the
doesn't
Flyers.
care.
Who's gonna tell Brooks to holster? It ain't gonna be me. Abe Coffin. Also, I think that's Abe Coffin. Let me check.
Number 12? Yeah, Coffin.
Coffin. Let me see if that's him though.
What did he do?
Oh, he's on the wind chill. Yeah, that's Abe Coffin's on the wind chill. I don't know who that Coffin is.
Oh, we got a different Coffin. Well, he's the one that caught the
Yeah, and it looks like I think Abe actually
original
retired.
pass.
But yeah, he's a really
shout
good
out
player.
Abe Coffin.
Yeah.
What a run.
But that's another Coffin.
Abe
Cooking.
Coffin put his career in a
He ain't
coffin.
That's crazy. But yeah, Tobias Brooks is still firing. That was a, the wind caught it. But sometimes it's not just the throws you make, but the mentality behind them that, you just got to have that confidence. Because a lot of Frisbee is just being confident. Like, as long as you know what you're doing, can't half-heartedly do stuff. You just got to have the confidence to take the throws as well as have the skill.
I mean, it's, midway third quarter. I don't want to say the Cascade have to score on this possession, only down 2, but this does feel like kind of again, midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, you got to respond.
It doesn't feel like you want to go down 3 here.
They got to keep up the punches, They were down by big, and you don't want to do that again. So, high stall.
Great defense by the Flyers.
For anyone at home who doesn't know, the disc, when you catch the disc, you have 7 seconds to get rid of it, and it's the ref counting it, and he does it silently. So they call it stall. Wow, great score. Shout out Munoz. So they call it a stall. So if someone's holding the disc for a really long time, that's why you'll see people get more frantic.
They give them a Mississippi count in professional Frisbee.
They do. Well, they do in every one, but it's at 10 usually, not 7. So, and usually it's whoever's like in front of you will count it, and not some person silently off field. So So that's part of it too. Is you don't know what the count is.
Do they do a count in the flag football, like the professional flag football or whatever, when they rush the quarterback, or do they have a lineman? They maybe have a lineman.
I don't know. I think you can only rush if the quarterback rushes. But
well, it looks like with some of the plays on
Mark Munoz trying to get him out.
Rushes a lot.
Yeah. Munoz involved with 5 of the Cascades' 9 scores. Mm-hmm. So let's just say he's having himself a game, all right.
It's a Jaylen Brown MVP type of season. We saw it in the NBA, the number 2.
Definitely an MVP
performance from our guy right here.
MVP performance, yeah. Also, in theory, you're not supposed to touch the guy, impede someone with contact. So whenever they have a foul, someone will move up in yards instead of in normal Frisbee, they'll just change the stall count. But the fields are huge in UFA, so. Wow, you can see Seattle Cascades pressure has stepped up.
I was just going to say, you can see the intensity is really increased.
Clamping. They know they have to get a break here.
And they're not really double teaming either. They're just kind of single coverage on everything. Oh.
Yeah. There you go, Elijah Long. Wide open. That's tough.
They were trying too hard.
Let's go back. Let's see what happened here. I'll rewind a little bit. So that's a blown play. That means the defender wasn't on the open side. Oh my gosh. The defender just lost him for 1 second. Jeez. So you want like the mark to kind of shade to the per thrower's one side, like his left maybe, and then you'd have the defender downfield and the receiver kind of shade to his right. So you kind of have them have a narrow window, like that highlight showed. You have that narrow window to throw. And what happened on that play is the defender got shifted over to the left. He got shifted over to the right as well as the mark. So you have like half the field completely open because there's no one blocking that side at all. So he just got wide open. Wide open. He got beat. Beat. But Rem, do you have a fantasy football league?
No,
coming up?
I don't think so this year.
Oh
We'll
no!
see what happens,
What happened to your guys, the champ and Autumn?
Yeah, there's been talks. There's been talks of it, but I think I'm leaning toward just putting a focus on daily like the weekly fantasy stuff, and just not having to worry about a week to week, like a full season team, and just do the little daily fantasy stuff every week. But I still have been looking at some of the guys like in a full season type sense, because one of our favorite things to do is to try to identify which player is going to be the fantasy breakout player. So I didn't know.
Yeah.
I have some candidates if you want to go through them.
Okay. Throw them at me.
We can go through them over the course of we're almost into the fourth quarter here too. So I guess as the fourth quarter goes along.
Yeah, it's back and forth right now.
We can throw this out. Seattle cuts it back to 1 as they. What's the term for the kickoff in Frisbee?
Pull.
A pull?
Pulling.
As
pulling,
they
like PULL.
As they make a pull here, and then whoa, deep shot by Carolina. Sorry, Carolina's just high level action got me sucked back in. Okay, so a pause, but I went through and tried to find a candidate from every team in the league, but then I broke them down into tiers so we could go through the tiers. I have some different tiers of levels of guys, and there are a couple of rules as well too, just to remind the people for our identifying our fantasy breakout player, because like for one of the main rules is it can't be like a rookie or a second year guy, because a lot of those guys are kind of, they're supposed to be breakout guys in a sense, right? Like, I guess a rookie can't really be a breakout guy. I guess, maybe like a later round rookie, but still, it's rookies. Maybe the committee will reconsider at some point and let rookies on the table. But as of right now, rookies are off the table. And again, second year guys are supposed to be getting better. So those guys are off the table. And it kind of has to be a guy that's starting in like the middle rounds of the draft, so pick 50 or so later. It's not really like a top end guy, but it's still just kind of like a loose basis for who are the breakout fantasy players of the season. But the first tier of teams is actually what I just called banned teams. So there might be good players on these teams in like fantasy. There still might be fantasy guys on these teams. But for me, I'm just staying away from them completely because I don't like the situation. So the first team on this tier, and this is the team that we had our breakout player on from last season, and make no mistake, it just did not quite go as well as we thought. But the Giants are the first team. They had Isaiah Hodgins. I know, Malik Neighbors is there. They drafted him, like 6 overall in the first round this past year. I'm a huge fan of Malik Neighbors. I know a lot of people were calling him an historic receiver prospect along with Marvin Harrison Jr. as well too. But is Daniel Jones?
Dunze. People are saying Dunze might have been better.
Yeah, that's true. There was definitely some love for Dunze as well too. But does Daniel Jones just make you stay away from all the Giants players in terms of fantasy? I guess at some point you would have to take Malik Neighbors, right? But you get what I'm saying. Like for his ADP. For where he's going right now?
Yeah, that is interesting, something to look at. I am very much a who is your quarterback kind of deal. Just like stay away from wide receivers on Baltimore because you can tell that Lamar is almost always looking for his running backs and tight ends, like his big targets. So it's definitely, which may come up later, but it's just something you have to consider is that Daniel Jones is the one throwing to him. Shout out the Flyers, got a break, now up 3, 2 minutes and a half left in the third.
I guess the clock was tweaking earlier, like you said. Sometimes it tweaks.
Yeah, it does that where it's like 0.8 and it's like what?
Yeah, the third was almost
UFA,
over.
we gotta do better, but he had, I think, you said Hodgins? Yeah,
Neighbors?
For that, Daniel. Oh, so it's Neighbors that you had. Okay,
Would
I thought it was
you?
Hodgins.
I was just saying, would you like? Does Daniel Jones make you stay away from even like Malik Neighbors? Neighbors right now is going between
Yeah, still would.
Waddle and Zay Flowers. Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Zay Flowers. Is how it's going.
Yeah.
Is how it's going in drafts right now.
I definitely. Yeah, I mean, considering it's his first year in the league, Malik Neighbors, and he, I mean, I believe the quarterback he came from is better than Daniel Jones.
True. Right now.
Yeah, I don't. Who knows?
Last year.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, I'd put him above.
Was
Daniel
Jaden
Jones? So yeah, from one Daniels to the other.
Jaden Daniels last year was better than Daniel Jones. Like if you just put him in the NFL last year,
yeah.
he's already a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Exactly. So not only are you having to deal with higher physicality, but now you're having to deal with also a quarterback who is just a straight up not as good passer. Like, it's, so yeah, I think that's why I wouldn't take Malik Neighbors, unless he, really they find a way to use him. They're really popping off. Maybe it's like Chris Move at quarterback. Shout out. Playing for the Giants right now. Won the touchdown.
If they let us have AI quarterbacks for the NFL at some point during the season, then maybe they can actually get a replacement for Daniel Jones. But yeah, other than that, with the contract, it's looking pretty bleak.
Yeah.
But the other teams that I was going to stay away from because of the quarterback situation would be Patriots, Saints, Seahawks, and the Raiders. Yeah, I just snuck the Seahawks in there when.
Wow. Yeah, I'm about to ask do the Seahawks still have Geno? He definitely regressed a little bit.
Geno, but the Patriots, Saints, and Raiders. Is there anybody on those teams that, from a fantasy standpoint, that would like really jump out to you, despite the fact that maybe the quarterback situations could be pretty weak?
Patriots, Saints, Raiders.
Are you? What do you think of like the Derek Carr Olave?
Right? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The Saints offense, I wouldn't totally knock out. I was like, don't the Saints have some receivers? They have some.
But what do you think of Derek Carr this upcoming season?
Yeah, I don't know. He looked pretty bad in preseason already throwing picks.
Who's going to start more games, him or Rattler?
That's the interesting part. Because imagine Spencer Rattler comes on and he's really cooking. Alvin Kamara.
I think it might happen.
I don't think you can count out. I think you still can't count out Kamara. I think he's still a serviceable back. Like if you have him on your bench, like are you really struggling? I think Kamara is someone you got to look at out of all those. I'd probably put him as the best player out of all those teams. I mean, yeah, he was injured last year. He had the suspension, right?
Yeah.
And then he was gone for a bit, but I think Kamara is someone you can't you're in round what? Like you already got your 2 and you may have gotten a wide receiver or 2. So I'd probably say round 7 or 8. Kamara's still on the board. You might as well pick him up.
So RB2? You want to look at RB2?
I put him at RB3. Maybe RB2. Flex? Awesome. Yeah, I'll flex. RB3, you flex, yeah.
Get a little stacked at receiver and then sneak Kamara in there a little bit later. Would you rather have as a head coach quarterback combo, would you rather have is it Dennis Allen for the Saints? Would you rather have Dennis Allen and Derek Carr?
The defensive guy.
Or Brian Daboll and Daniel Jones? If you're trying to say tank for Arch Manning at some point.
Oh, tanking? I'd definitely take Daboll and Jones.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like the floor could be a lot lower with Jones than with Carr. I don't know. I feel like Carr, there's at least a decent level, and that's why I would still think that he could, be a decent enough passer that he could open some lanes for Alvin Kamara, but.
So what's the floor then for Carr? Do you mean like they can't go 4-13? Is the floor like 6 wins?
They could. I don't know. That division could be low key good.
Ooh.
I don't know if the Panthers figure out. I mean, they have better wide receivers there, right?
They do. They brought in.
I think the Falcons. The Falcons, everyone's hot on them. I'm hot on them too. I'm high on the Falcons. I understand they have this 2 quarterback thing, but like you mentioned, the defensive upgrades on their team. I'm into your what is it? I was listening to your pod Tuesday. You got me hyped on the NFC South, man.
Oh, yeah?
I'm in.
I kind of sneaky like the South too. I don't. If we want to move into the next tier a little bit, I had the Bucks and the Panthers both in the next. Okay, I think we're back in. I was blaming it on Sam at first, but I think it was on my end, people. But I think we're back now. But I was saying these teams in this next tier were not like super exciting to me, but I did have, but I could still see some interesting fantasy people coming out of these teams. And I had the Bucks and Panthers in both of this tier, but tier below. So do you think I'm being a little too harsh on the Seahawks by being kind of hesitant? Because I don't know what to think about Geno Smith this year.
Yeah. I don't know either. I mean, I definitely felt like they were going to regress, which they did. Obviously Geno couldn't have been that good, the rest of his career. Also, quick check-in on the game, 14-12, Flyers going into the fourth. But when you look, you have Witherspoon, at least a defensive playmaker. I think it'll be good to see if JSN and Geno Smith could take a step up. But, the sneaky thing is, that's what I was trying to remember about. I think this could be a sneaky bench the quarterback team. Is there someone? Wait, who's that backup quarterback? Sam Howell.
Is that Sam Howell back there?
On this team. You get Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, they got Zach Charbonnet. I'm still got a lot of stock in.
Me too.
And on this team, shout out Iowa alum Noah Fant at tight end. JSN is the third wide receiving option on this team. Jackson Smith and Jigba. A couple of years ago, he was putting up, stupid stats on Ohio State. Like, there's no way he's getting worse. Tyler Lockett, veteran still out there. DK Metcalf doing his thing. I really, 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 really think this team. I really want to see this team under Sam Howell. I really want to give.
I agree with you. I do want to see Sam Howell at some point.
I gotta see it. So under Geno, the ceiling's pretty low. I don't really have a lot of hope. But under Sam Howell,
6 wins, baby.
It's you need to go for it. I mean, he's in an offense where he knows he's not going to touch turf if he doesn't get the ball out in 0.2 seconds. Like, who knows? I'm kind of in on Sam Howell running the show.
Are you more in on Sam Howell than Bryce Young?
Definitely more in on Sam Howell than Bryce Young.
Whoa!
But Bryce Young was the number 1 overall pick. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of got expectations. So, who's the better player?
So you're not totally out on the Panthers.
I'm not out. I still want to give Bryce Young another year. I'll give him another year, but I am doubtful. I'm not not looking great.
It's okay.
Howell, 65%.
I'll be castaway on the Bryce Young Island. It's fine.
Yeah. For his preseason stats. Yeah, we need Sam Howell under center. Please.
I also had the Browns, the Jags, and the Titans in the tier of, these offenses are kind of scary. I don't really know what to make of them. The Jags, because of Lawrence, there's probably a little bit more upside there. But are you still in on your boy Watson at all? In Cleveland?
Deshaun?
Yeah.
Oh, Deshaun? I don't know if we call him my boy. Shout out to Bobby Brooks for another assist.
We're on the live. We can't cut it out.
But I don't know if I am being my boy. IT.
Your former boy.
Change everyone's memory.
But I don't know. It's just a question mark because he hasn't been good for like 4 or 5 years, you know. And he's one of those players that there's a lot of people rooting against him for obvious reasons. You know, a lot of people want to see him not work out there. So who knows? Wow! Shout out Brooks getting the deep throw, figuring it out. And then getting the score. Brooks is showing up right now. I'm just saying. Don't change that dial.
Tobias Hooks. Tobias.
Yeah,
Brooks.
I think for the making a name for himself. Seattle right now down by 3. They're gonna have to do a lot to get this done.
Geno Smith and
what we're talking about.
Pete Carroll are going to be
Watson.
revamping the Cascade in a couple of months.
Maybe, I don't know. They're a good team, but they're definitely overperforming. But like the Flyers, they have like, you know, yeah, that's a bad throw. That last throw there really shows like the quality. I'm just saying, like you can't like this situation. You're down by 3. Like you don't take shots like that. That's a bad shot right there.
Wait, let's see what
trying
happened.
to get it over defender.
I think I might have fallen behind. The Cascader working the disc down the field right now. But the next tier of teams that I had was, oh, yep, that's the throw right there.
Yeah.
Just forcing
That's a bad. Yeah, that's definitely a forcing. Even Rem knows it's forcing. Pick up over here.
Yeah, if I know it's a force, that's not good.
Oh, what a catch. Oh, yeah.
The next tier of teams that I had was, again, teams that are going to have good fantasy players, but the names are kind of already established as either like really good players or guys that, yeah, maybe their value's down a little bit, but still the name value for them is strong enough where I feel like we can't really identify him as a breakout player. Like the Rams, for example. Yeah, Puka Nacua obviously is now a top receiver in the league. Cooper Kupp his ADP might be down a little bit, but we can't like take a lot of credit if we say we're adopting Cooper Kupp as our breakout player for the fantasy season.
Exactly. That's not even a breakout.
No, the man was the best receiver, had one of the best receiving seasons of all time. Kyron Williams is an established running
Won
back.
the Super Bowl.
The Eagles with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley there now.
Oh, my gosh.
Carolina on the break chance, forcing Seattle to call timeout.
UFA.
But did the stream go down again?
The stream's down. We might have to go to the UFA Instagram. We have to go to the Flyers Instagram again.
Oh no, is there a conspiracy? They don't want us to see Seattle losing? But the Eagles have really established guys. The Dolphins with Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Achane is getting, he's priced pretty high right now in fantasy leagues. He's not necessarily a cheap ADP guy. And Raheem Mostert was another top fantasy running back in the league last year as well. So even though he's fallen down draft boards a little bit, can't really take a lot of credit for saying that he is great.
What can you say what ADP means for the listeners at home, such as I, who may not know?
For the people that may not know at home, of course, because Sam knows what ADP means, obviously, but
of course,
average draft position.
Okay.
So just like your spot in the draft for snake drafts in fantasy, but I had the Chiefs in this tier because Kelsey is once again going as the number 1 tight end, very appropriately, but I believe Pacheco is going as a top 10 running back, and that's obviously because of the uncertainty at receiver and, kind of from what we saw of how they used him near the end of last year. But yeah, he's going in the top 20 of drafts right now. He's at pick 18, the RB8. So can you make sense of the Chiefs offense real quickly from a fantasy standpoint? Like, do you think Pacheco is going to be a top 10 running back this year for you guys?
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't, unless you really trust his production being in the backfield. I don't know if he's never been 100-yard or game rusher. He's gonna get like 15 to 18, 19 rushes. Never really see it as 20. And I definitely feel like they're going to be leaning into more of taking off the top off of defenses. Tony gets cut this past year. I think they're a little bit going away. There was a bit there where they were trying to go with more possession receivers when they had Tony, when they had Juju Smith-Schuster. And now they're going back to speed, bringing in someone who broke the combine 4.4 record, still keeping around Sky Moore, still having some other weapons. And the thing is honestly, they don't need a possession receiver because they have Kelsey. They don't. That's Kelsey's job, and Mahomes is going to find him when he needs him. But yeah, I definitely. I mean, we lost all our preseason games, so not a lot of momentum moving in. But somehow Rashee Rice still on the team, and but he is. Yeah, exactly. Surprisingly, but he was someone that Mahomes trusted in the postseason. I think he had the most catches by a rookie in the postseason or something. He made some records with that. So
I remember hearing something like that.
Yeah,
But
so
I don't know if the stream cut out. I don't know if your stream's still out, but just a quick update on the game. The Flyers just hit another deep score. I don't know what the correct term is for that, but now they're up 5. Yeah, deep break, and 17-12.
17.
As
That
it
sounds
continues
like
to fall,
GG.
continues to fall apart for Seattle. It's not looking
Very
good.
much.
There's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
7 minutes. Yeah. I mean, but this is where you just see it's just a little bit better. And East Coast Frisbee tends to be better, just better than West Coast in general. I'm sorry for anyone listening, but it is the birthplace
Sam's bringing
of
back
Frisbee
the East Coast
itself.
West Coast beef. Be careful.
Oh my gosh. So it looked like they caught the disc. He caught it. He just straight up dropped it. And then on the other end, Fisher gets the catch and doesn't drop it. So,
Fisher,
again,
man.
That mentality, those little drops are what really are going to change games. You can't make mistakes. That is the tough part of Frisbee is you can't just mess up.
And you said you said at halftime the most important thing for them to do was to literally stay locked in, and I feel like they played sloppier the second half than at least
definitely
the last couple of minutes here, midway through the third to midway through the fourth. That's been their sloppiest period of the game compared to the first half, which was already, like you were saying, full of mistakes.
Yeah, and I mean it's not even like Carolina has a lot less turnovers. I mean, they're only like 4 or 5 difference. It's just, taking care of the disc and making smart decisions. And, the Cascades get the score. But, I mean, they literally have all their best players out there because they kind of had to get a score at this point.
Did you like it when you guys brought in Marquise Brown? I guess, did you talk yourself into that at all? Because...
a little bit.
Yeah, I was really starting to, and then he ended up getting that shoulder injury, and I think they said he's going to miss some time to start the year. But if he comes back and he's fully healthy, again, I don't know if he qualifies to adopt as a breakout guy, but he might be.
Could.
He's better than Juju, right? He might be your best receiver post Tyreek. Is that crazy to say?
That might be a little crazy. He had a lot of drops with the Ravens. Yeah, a lot of drops.
That is fair. You're right.
I think Rashee Rice could be something really good.
I do like Rashee Rice's on the field. Big fan of Rashee Rice.
He just drops way too much.
What was he doing again?
On and off.
Was he driving
field.
too fast or something?
Yeah, he made an accident in Texas, and then when what was it? He made an accident in Texas, and then he drove away. He was like on the highway, and people had film and all that. It's like, bro, you're not getting anywhere.
Faster off the field than he is on the field?
I know.
Unbelievable. But I also had the Niners in this tier. McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Kittle, all established guys. Yeah. I guess if Ayuk gets traded and the other younger guys
that'd be
steps
something
up,
interesting.
Yeah, that'd definitely be something to watch. But even still, the other guys are rookies, so I feel like he doesn't qualify for what we're saying as well, too. And I also had the Bears in this tier as well because DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Odunze is a rookie, but those are both super established guys. Like a Swift, his name value at this point is like pretty strong. I feel like people know what they're going to get from him. So I feel like that team is pretty set at weapons. And then
wait a minute. Hate to interrupt you here.
No, we got some action from the Cascade.
Yeah, it's getting a little testy over here. Lucas Ambrose, young blood, defensive star, gets the score over Tobias Brooks, runs up to him and yells in his face, spikes the disc on him.
That's not in the spirit of the game. What are we doing, young blood?
I'm telling you, it's getting a little testy. I'm just saying, his teammates have to hold him back. He's trying to get knocked out. I don't know. They're looking at it. We'll see. Let me see if we can turn on sound here if they're talking about unsportsmanlike.
Did they just put this guy? Is this the enforcer? Is he just in the game to cause Agent of Chaos? Oh, this is Ambrose. No, it's a good guy.
No, he's great. He's great.
Yeah.
He's probably their second best player.
He's hot.
I definitely
trying to get him rallied up.
Oh, he's. I mean, but you can see
season on the line, boys.
But you see, that's where it's almost respect because that wasn't even the guy closest to him, so he specifically went after him. He yelled in his face. It's that thing where it's like he knows the other good player and he's going after him. He's trying to get it in his head.
He said, "Watch it,
young blood." Youngblood's head.
Not yet.
And Brooks said, "Bring it." He said, "Bring it."
Down
Brooks
3.
Here.
6.5 minutes.
It's getting close. Very next possession, Brooks trying to make something happen. He's arguing for a calls like the young blood, like the young stars. He's already looking at the ref before the.
You can see
and he gets the call.
Oh, you can see he's hurried though. I mean, he's still making.
Well,
plays,
yeah, because it was the time stall. I mean, look at that. Steps through before the disc is even there. He's already complaining. Telling you,
he's Doncic. He's working the refs.
Man, the Seattle trying to close the gap here. This might be their last chance really to win this game because time is ticking. They kind of need a break here. And the Flyers notorious for just passing the disc around, so maybe they'll kill time here at some point. But that was interesting. Ambrose going up to Tobias Brooks and yelling at him. Mind you, he had to go through two or three players to get to him. So he wasn't just hyped. He was hyped against Brooks. So, shoot, that shows again, not really any mental toughness from the Cascades. You're down by a couple, bro, and you're going up to their player and yelling, like, come on. Come on. It's distraction.
Stay focused.
Oh, but Ambrose, he's focused enough to get that block.
Oh.
he got the layup block. What are you doing?
Oh, Ambrose.
Oh, gosh. Maybe you just need to shut up. Maybe I just need to shut up.
Yeah, the man actually knows how to channel the emotions, apparently.
He's cooking. Oh, man, he throws it away. I don't know what's going on.
What is Ambrose? The man's a bipolar
back
player.
And forth. It's just back and forth. Conservation of greatness is what they call it.
This is a Westbrook performance if I've ever seen one.
You can only do so many good plays.
Ambrose is Westbrook.
Foul called. Oh, Laviolette. He's doing one of the plays in Frisbee. A little rule they have is if you think a foul didn't actually happen, you can do a sportsmanlike, like you can just call it off. Laviolette just does it in a big moment when they try to call contact on him. Also, Brooks cooking his defender. Look at Brooks. Look at him go. Look at him go. He just cooked this guy. That's real. You can't teach that. That's all I gotta say. You can't. Big moment.
Tobias Brooks.
Look at the execution in small spaces. Catches it, looks for someone, tosses it back, makes the great cut to catch his guy lacking. And just plays, and just the curl on that to be away from laying out, how quick it was.
So why was he not in the last game? Just matchups?
Who was Brooks? No, he was. He just didn't.
It just wasn't his game.
Yeah, it wasn't his game. He wasn't, and it was the other handlers' games. They were really hot. So as a good teammate that he was, he let them cook because it was Youngs and the two other handers, Elijah Long, had really great games. I think they had the two best plus minuses of their team. So, you just let that's what you got to do. Let others cook, But this game, he's showing up huge, and I don't know. It's 4 minutes left.
Should we do UFA trade value? Where's Tobias Brooks? Is he number one? Is he the number one building block for UFA?
For me, I would say Will Brandt. If we're talking about best players, Will Brandt has to be up there. The thing is, Will Brandt, he has that height, he has that huge, but he's not as explosive to me as a player.
No, you can see this kid's speed as well too. And that jump he had on that earlier snag was, crazy. I'm pretty sure he can dunk.
And there's a little bit more of that, like, oh, Seattle, that's a simple throw, and he just turfs it. That's unacceptable at this level of frisbee.
Oh, he turfs it?
Unacceptable.
We're gonna steal that and bring that over into the NFL. That's a good term.
That's what they call it. They say in the NFL. Like when you do a.
I'm just not
like down in. I don't know.
Not cool.
It. But no, I would say Will Brandt is up there for the wind chill, but you can see there's a little bit more edge, I would say, from Tobias, because he just has that he has a little bit of that reckless abandon where he kind of just throws his body around, while Will Brandt is a little bit more measured, more stuff. And for frisbee, you're supposed to be more measured, but not in pro. They just want you to do your thing. Wow, and the Flyers get the break to go up 4 with 3 minutes left 5 minutes left after throwing in the dirt. And this is the percentage you want to see, Rem, for breaks. You get a chance, you punch it in every single time, and you do that as a team, you're gonna win games. It doesn't matter. Swanson getting that.
And that's at least 2 or 3 where the guy's just been wide open, just been a breakdown on defense.
Tired legs. That's what happens when you only have a couple of really, really good players and not your whole team. Bayless is their rookie. He's one of their newer players, and he just tosses that with ease. He's shrugging. On him like, what was that? Well, I don't know what's going on. He's shrugging on him. So we'll see. I don't know.
We've got a pass from El Salam. It's a dime.
Oh, whoa. Lucas Ambrose. From Khalif El Salam to the lane out, Lucas Ambrose. And he's just taunting. He's getting the refs talking to him. He's got to stop.
I will say, you got to give the Seattle Stars credit in this one. I know, like you're saying, the depth and Tobias Brooks, but Ambrose is making plays here at the end and keeping him in it. And Salam is maybe this not the game of his career, but he's been he's been doing work. That was crazy
Ambrose's whole playoff has been crazy, and Ambrose is just continuing to taunt. His arm hurting a bit. He's laying out. But that's just a play of 2 stars being like, all right, we got to carry this team on our backs. We're done. And they kind of had to get a quick score because of how little time they have and how many scores they have to get. So it might as well be their number 1 player to their number 2 player. If you're gonna die on a hill, it might as well be that.
We should have seen this earlier.
Ambrose has been great.
Munoz?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is Munoz on the court?
No, he's not. It's a defensive point. Munoz is definitely an offensive player. So I definitely like slider builds, quick, shorter guys like Anders Youngs. He has the disc right now. It's definitely offensive only because, you want the more athletic, longer players on defense. But, that was... Look, Tobias Brooks calling for calls. He's out. Look at this man.
Making audibles.
He's saying, what's going on? He's saying, what's going on? Khalif doesn't want him getting the disc. And you see how they're double teaming him almost every time he touches it?
Oh, wow.
Oh. Wow. Laviolette chucks it up.
Wow.
Fisher gets huge. Is that Fisher? No, that's Fairfax. He's just one of those players that he rarely doesn't catch the disc. They just have those veteran players that they've just been with this team They've played together for 10 plus years. They just know each other, and that's how Carolina is. They've been teaching these kids since they were in middle school. I mean, the coach definitely knows kids since they were in middle school. Like they're in the system, and they just all play together. And yeah, Fairfax and Laviolette have been playing like 4 or 5 plus years. So you just know, you just know the little things. 6 goals, 1 assist for Fairfax. Shout out.
And that's probably going to do it. There's only, 90 seconds left? Down 5.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Flyers. Flyers versus Windchill in the championship game.
Yeah.
What do we make of that?
Ambrose did what he could, though. Quick honorable mention, though. Ambrose, I mean, the blocks he had against the Shred in this game, too. I mean, he did his best. Obviously, as spirit of the game, Frisbee people, we don't want to. There's a lot of more taunting than we'd like. But, they can't say he didn't do anything. He definitely did what he could. So,
I mean, he's Cam Newton. He may be talking, but you got to keep him out of the end zone.
Yeah. True that. And
so
the
who's
Flyers going to the Windchill?
Who would be the favorite team if BetStamp were to put out odds for the championship?
Probably the Flyers. Yeah, they started the beginning of the year undefeated for like the first 7 or 8 games. So probably the Flyers over the Windchill. The Windchill have, like we mentioned, more college players. Definitely not as many veterans as Carolina has. And they definitely, you see Khalif El-Salam is not out there on this point. He's definitely saving his body. I think Worlds is going to be in a week, actually.
Oh, so he'll be doing Team USA stuff?
Yeah. Let's see. WFU World. Let me see here.
I'm making a quick audible and saying we need to put Tobias Brooks on that team right now. Oh, they got him again. 21-16. Or no, they didn't quite score yet, but they've got it right back to him. Oh, Seattle broke it up. 30 seconds left.
They're still hustling. Oh, Brooks just got the disc and ripped it. Jeez. What a put. That's such a good throw. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's tough. Oh, Youngs was doing too much. That's a sign of doing too much. Wow. He's saying he got hit on the arm, but the ref doesn't care. That's, you smack the life out of him. Of course he's not going to. Wow, and they call the timeout. They think they actually have a chance. But yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the things also different from clubs that, you can't talk about stuff. It's just whatever the ref says, which is sometimes good because then they argue and they're, strategizing and talking a whole lot. But I don't know. Maybe, I guess they can get victory points here or something. I don't know. Is the crowd waving at them? They got
We've
the
got a
lights
phone
out.
situation. They're waving goodbye to the Seattle.
Oh, yeah. Well, the lights are out, actually.
The stadium lights?
It looks like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm spazzing. Where they're sitting.
They dimmed them or something.
Something.
During the timeout, I think.
Anyway, 30 seconds left.
That stadium's in a crazy location, though. It's in the mountains.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
It's dark now, so you can see the city lit up behind it, but earlier you could see the mountains when the sun was out. I take it back. I love it in Salt Lake City.
Oh, gosh. Seattle. And still dropping. You see, they're just killing clock now. Swing it. Oh, my gosh. People just, you see, this is, Fisher getting big. And that's the game.
That's it.
Flyers.
The Flyers.
Taking on the Minnesota Windchill in the final.
Wow. What a game. Not
Shout
bad.
out.
I know the Flyers maybe made the score at the end there look a little bit more dominant, but like we were saying, Ambrose and El-Salam, they made their highlight plays. This was a great watch.
They tried. I mean, they definitely, you can see the talent that was there from Salt Lake, but you could just see there was just there's so many veterans on the Flyers team. And a game like this, it's the veterans that really make the difference when it's windy, when people are dropping discs, just to have that mental toughness. You could see the drop by the young blood, by one of the guys who grew up as a fan of this team. Actually, the league is that old, but yeah.
MVP of the game, Tobias Brooks.
Cascades. Yeah. Tough loss for the Cascades, but they shouldn't have been here in the first place. I mean, the Shred should have beat them. They should have held the game. But yeah, Tobias Brooks had a great game.
They'll get back in the offseason. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. Maybe find some kids on their high school team. Seattle high school scene known for some of the best Frisbee in the nation. For young Frisbee, yeah. They got some really good young.
So do you think the Flyers are going to hold still and as the favorites and beat the wind chill?
My score for the Flyers against the wind chill, it's going to be, we'll go 18-16 Flyers. Well, I think the Flyers will win it.
Yeah. My gut's telling me to pick the wind chill.
Oh, you're going to home team. Team, okay.
I might go the opposite way. I'm going to say 21. Wind chill, high-powered offense. I think they're going to get it done. I think it's going to be... I think you could see the Flyers.
Brooks, though. You saw them throws.
You could see the defensive pressure as well too in this game, but I just think the offense is going to become more the focal point as the game wears on. I'm going to say it's going to be 21-18.
Okay. Shout out. Also shout out Fisher. 3 goals, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Being real productive. Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be interesting. I really think it'll be good for the wind chill, obviously, to be the final, that experience. But I just like that there's a range of ages for the main players on the Flyers. And yes, Minnesota has some of those veteran players. Shout out to Clark. Shout out, some of their other players there. But just the range of ages. I love the mix of youth and older guys on the Flyers. They've been, this season, I would say they've been top to bottom the best team throughout the whole season. And I don't know why that would stop. I mean, there is still, obviously, the wind chill still have, high-level players, but I think the Flyers they got more adults in the room. And they have the best, in my opinion, the best young player.
Tobias Brooks.
Right now. Tobias Brooks.
I wouldn't underestimate, I know not young guy, but our guy Clan, handler for the wind chill.
Oh, Brant, yeah.
I think it's I just remember watching him for a game being like, oh yeah, the wind chill. I see why they're pretty fun to watch. So that performance just sticks in my mind. That's why I think I'm leaning that way. But I'm glad too that we were picking the opposite sides. That means we're gonna have to go against each other.
Yeah.
I was thinking, are we gonna have to do some kind of are we gonna have to jump on for when is the championship game? But
Maybe.
It's like Sunday, right?
I thought it was tomorrow. Maybe it is Sunday.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll see. I think it is. Maybe it is Sunday.
Do they get a break? I guess they both played today, so it'd be kind of fair too that no one got an extra day off.
Let's see here. Schedule.
They haven't announced where 2025 is going to be at either.
Yeah, they usually do at the end of 2024. I don't know why I saw Sunday.
Book my ticket now?
Let's see. Yeah. When is the final?
Oh, I don't know if they have it on the schedule yet for some reason. I only see the semis.
Yeah. One thing I saw, only one member of the Cascades, Khalifa Al-Salam, has had prior championship weekend experience. So, most of Carolina's key players have completed at this prestigious event multiple times. And they did win recently, 2019, 2020. They won recently, all of it. I think maybe 2021. So at least within the last 5 years, the Flyers have won the championship, while the Cascades, have never been to that point recently. So, Cascades, they're like I said, overperforming and did really well. I mean, if at the beginning of the season they were like, this is where we're going to be, like that'd be a huge win for them. And yeah, so even though they took the loss tonight, it's been a huge win for their season.
Hey, that's great. We got a win-win for both teams.
And just to prove another point, their winning percentage last year was 33%.
Oh, wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, and now first time ever for this team, first time ever for a team to go 33% one year and then make it to championship weekend. So, again, very, very, and for them to beat the runners-up from last year at their place in Salt Lake, like I said, it's not, they had no business being as far as they did. So
okay, so knowing that they've taken that kind of increase just in 1 year, it makes me feel a lot better about this team's trajectory. Whatever changes they've implemented, it's clearly working. Is El Salam new to this team like this year? Is that one of the big things that they did?
Maybe. No, not just this year. But let's see here. He used to play on some other teams. So he did his first 2 seasons were with Seattle. Then he played with San Diego, Atlanta. I don't know if that Atlanta time was when he was there. And then last 2 years he's played with Seattle. So this is his second season back on Seattle. So that's why last year when they signed him, it was like a huge move, all this money. And yeah, I think it was when he was on Atlanta in 2022 that he played in the championship weekend. So it wasn't even with the Cascades.
Oh, okay.
So this is new territory for the Seattle team.
Yeah, and I guess for him as well, too, on the Seattle team.
Yeah, exactly.
Experience making it that far with this organization. So, man, it's going to be a great championship matchup between these two teams, the Flyers.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. But
I'm excited.
Did you want to run through the rest of these nominees quick for fantasy breakout player?
Yeah. Let's go through them.
Okay, I'm gonna cut out a big chunk of them, and we can just jump to the actual tier of nominees.
Give us their hottest ones.
Yeah, these are my actual nominees for fantasy breakout player for the 2024 NFL season. The first one, we just have to mention him, but I feel like he's always too trendy of a breakout guy, and last year he did also kind of, perform up to those breakout expectations, and that's George Pickens for the Steelers, also going into his 3rd season. And I feel like, well, for one, I feel like it's going to be Fields starting week 1, but I also kind of just like that vibe going into the season as well, too. But
yeah,
would you start Fields week 1 if you were the Steelers?
Yeah, I would. I think, we've seen from this past year, Russell Wilson doesn't really want to get hit. It's just, I would definitely, he definitely feels at this point in his career, he's like that older backup you bring in later on. But yeah, you got to see what the ceiling is with Fields out the gate. Being on a team that's non-Bears, non-Bears hanging over him, all that pressure. You just got to give him a chance.
Okay, so Pickens is the first nominee. And these nominees are all actually receivers as well, too, which keeps in theme with the receiver theme that we've had with picking these breakout guys. We've just had receivers every year. It's just worked out that way. We had Deebo Samuel the first year, then Gabe Davis the year after that, the year coming off the playoff performance, not quite as good as Deebo Samuel. And then, like I said earlier, last year we had Isaiah Hodgins. But Pickens is our nominee first. I'm going with a Packers receiver next. But I'm going to go Romeo Doubs because I don't know if I fully trust the Christian Watson thing to just stay healthy the whole year. And
that's a good call.
I know Jaden Reed right now is being drafted higher than Dobbs, but I've just been a Dobbs guy since he's been in the draft, and he's also going into his 3rd year, so he kind of fits our mold. But is there a Packers receiver that you prefer between Watson, Reed, and Dobbs?
I mean, Watson, when healthy, I think is, clearly the best player on best wide receiver on that team.
I do think it is sneaky close, though, between those 3, even when they're all healthy.
It is closer than other teams, yeah. Yeah, those are a good 3.
There's a lot of people looking for regression from Jordan Love. So, that might come back to bite for all those receivers in terms of how good they'll be.
But don't you think Love is going to be a good quarterback this year? Because that's something I've thought about as well, too, when picking this offense. I kind of just like this Packers offense because I feel like worst case scenario, Jordan Love is just like another Kirk Cousins, right? Like, is Jordan Love going to be a bad stats quarterback? I feel like he's
he's going to be decent.
Yeah, I feel like he's to that level where he's at least a good quarterback. So now we're just talking about how good of a quarterback. I mean, he's the highest paid quarterback in the league, so he needs to be a great quarterback. But just for a fantasy standpoint, I feel like he's crossed that line where I'll trust him to put up numbers in an offense.
Well, I mean, the problem is that he was behind. He was behind Aaron Rodgers, and so when you see him play, he does kind of like mannerisms like him, where the kinds of throws, the difficulty to throw. So he may be as good as Kirk Cousins, but it's whether he'll give himself that level of opportunity to make throws like Kirk Cousins, because it's just like. It just feels like when you watch him and play, and he tries to play better than he actually is right now, and that's just because of the role model he's had so far in that position. So,
but what I meant by Kirk Cousins really was, like, Kirk Cousins could give you a 4,000-yard season, but also 7 or 8 wins. And, like, the team would still at least have some competence. Like, I feel like Jordan Love is at least that type of guy where the offense is going to at least run, even though, like, I personally might not be all in on the Packers the way some people are. Like, I could still definitely see them being a good team, but I do think that they're just going to have a baseline competency of offense going forward as long as Jordan Love is there. And I feel like I feel like Dobbs is going to be the one guy that might emerge from the bunch this year. But I've got Dobbs as another option. I've also got another NFC North guy, this time from the Lions. I'm going Jameson Williams. Again, going into his 3rd season. Let me double check that, but I believe he's going into his 3rd year. He is, had some injury issues his first couple of years, but they move on from Josh Reynolds in the offseason, who was like kind of sneaky good for him last year. And I guess they're just expecting Jameson Williams to take on that role. And I'm kind of ready for him to just be, a big explosive receiver for them in that offense. So you said he's going to be great. Is this the most excited you've been about a guy so far?
Jameson Williams, yeah. No, I'm real excited. And I really want to see how high he can go even with Goff under center. I mean, I think it could bring, every year for those teams that are decent but need to take that extra step. I mean, you got to keep improving. You got to keep pushing that ceiling and of how good you can be. And Jameson Williams does that in terms of like the talent that he showed at Alabama, and he was hurt a little bit. He showed a little bit of it last year. And just to have another option besides Amon-Ra St. Brown, what's his face? Laporta, Sam Laporta did show, some really great fantasy guy at the end of the year. And you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got Montgomery in the backfield. But just to have that one more piece, I mean, there's just so much going on that Jameson Williams, I think, could be a really good boom or bust fantasy pick just because there's so much going on that, it'll be interesting to see if Goff will take those shots. But just to have those available and Williams being healthy, if you're going to need, you got 2 solid wide receivers, but, based on the matchup, Jameson Williams is, putting up some points in a couple weeks. It would be good
be good to pick him up. He could be a waiver wire or a really late in the draft pick, but there could be some weeks that he wins you games.
Yeah, let me see where he's going in drafts right now. He is being drafted wide receiver 48, pick 130.
Yeah.
So right
so
after your guy
late.
Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
And then
Like I said, late in the draft. Yeah.
Jameson Williams. Yeah, behind Hopkins. But, I mean, people forget, again, he's going into his 3rd year, but that would mean 3 seasons ago at this point, that would have been Amon-Ra's rookie season. You know, off his rookie season, he was a really solid receiver, 912 receiving yards in 9 starts, but played in all 17 games, and then had 5 touchdowns as well, too. And then, you know, took a step up, made the Pro Bowl in 2022 with 1,100 yards, and then first team All-Pro last year with 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. So it's not like Amon-Ra started off as the #1 receiver. Like, they drafted Jameson Williams and traded up for him, being like, yeah, we could actually build our offense around. Like, this guy could be our #1 receiver. And then also, oh, yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown also developed into a guy that could be your #1 receiver. But, yeah, I agree with you. He is ready to take a big step in his offense. So I like that you're excited about Jameson Williams. This is where we start getting into the deeper cuts. I've got 2 kind of deep cut receivers. We're kind of going down the tiers here a little bit. The Bills are seeing a lot of turnover at receiver. They lose Stephon Diggs. They lose Gabe Davis. So just from a fantasy drafting value standpoint, I love the idea of taking a Bills receiver. And I love Keon Coleman as well, too. I don't know if you have any Keon Coleman stock, but...
Well, if you can ever understand what he's saying.
I get all the jokes perfectly. I think he's...
you're on it. Okay.
Super...
Okay, Keon Coleman expert over here.
Yeah, I'll be the Keon Coleman interpretator if anybody needs me to be. But I have all the Keon Coleman stock. But again, he's a rookie. So we're going to look at Khalil Shakur. 3rd-year receiver. Kind of a slot guy, smaller guy. But... again, with Keon Coleman being a rookie, as much as I like him, there's going to be an adjustment period. And then let me see who the wide receiver 3 on the team is. I think it's Mac Hollins. I think is their 3rd wide receiver. So they've got a rookie Keon Coleman, Mac Hollins, and then Khalil Shakur, who's just the one guy in the core that's actually has some chemistry with Josh Allen and has been around for a little bit. They've got MBS as well, too. And Curtis Samuel, who I think... could be a interesting piece for them as well. But I just like Shakur's youth, and I really like his explosiveness as well too, and just have seen from what we've seen from him on the field when he's been able to get out there. So as a deep cut guy, does he kind of excite you at all? Pause.
Yeah, I mean it is something that is going to be interesting this year with the Bills, not having that #1 guy like Stephon Diggs, and you know, Shakur being that #1 wide receiver, obviously everyone's stats are going to go up just because they have to pass more. But it's going to be interesting to see if Josh Allen can, you know, find his wide receivers with them really having that depth, like you mentioned, Shakur, Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Matt Collins, like you mentioned, crazy barefoot guy, and then MVS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you know, he's perfect to be your, you know, 4th, 5th wide receiver, you know, 3rd, having him over in
is that a compliment?
Over with the Chiefs. And then also on this team, they're stacked at tight end as well. Kincaid is being seen by many to be a breakout guy this next year, and Dawson Knox is still a very good tight end, very serviceable tight end. So, you know, they're going 5 out with 2 tight ends, or you know, they got so many options on this team. On the passing, and it'll be interesting to see how Josh Allen adjusts to that. Instead of having that one superstar, having the more wide receiver by committee, especially with them not making the playoffs last year, they gotta definitely improve this next year.
I really do think that Shakur is going to have a good season for this team. My problem with adopting him as a breakout guy is I just think Keon Coleman might have a better season as the rookie on the team. Yeah. It's like, do I want to adopt the 2nd best receiver on the team? Maybe I do. Maybe I might for this next suggestion. This is the last suggestion that I have. And I actually really like this one. This is, I think, the deepest cut as well, too, just in terms of where you can get this guy in the draft. But De'Ame Brown from the Commanders. Last year, the Commanders were going into the season with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson as their 2 wide receivers. I think, shout out to Champ Quinn. He nominated Dotson for our fantasy breakout player last year. So I guess Brown is just back in the Dotson spot, but they traded Dotson in the offseason, a guy who they had drafted 16th overall at one point in the draft, and De'Ame Brown is slated to take that spot. So you've got kind of a deep ball threat, stretch the field type receiver with the quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who absolutely loves doing all that stuff. So I know Terry McLaurin is there already, and they've got some, extra running back depth with Brian Robinson. They bring in Austin Eckler, who can do a little bit of receiving stuff as well. But I don't know. I think we might get a sneaky good season from De'Ame Brown this year. I don't know if I'm reaching for like Isaiah Hodgins levels, grasping at straws again. But do you have any De'Ame Brown thoughts at all, or thoughts on the Commanders' offense?
Not too much. I mean, obviously Jaden Daniels, understand, like you mentioned, rookie quarterback. Have to see if anything is real there. But no, I haven't had too many late nights thinking about De'Ame Brown.
I figured.
I do think obviously getting Eckler, that is an upgrade. McLaurin, has been one of the probably, top 3 best wide receivers without a good quarterback, in that camp. DeAndre Hopkins award. I think he's definitely a big a candidate for that. But yeah, I don't.
Would you be super shocked if
even for me?
How surprised for you on a scale of 1 to 10 would you be if Jaden Daniels had more passing yards than Caleb Williams this year, but like they both had really good seasons? So it's not like Jaden Daniels outperformed him and Caleb Williams had a bad year. Like Caleb Williams has a good rookie season, but Jaden Daniels just has, like
a better one.
Yeah, 4,100 yards and 30 touchdowns.
I'd be shocked
because of situation.
The Bears depth chart in terms of the wide receivers, they're just better. They're definitely got a better wide receiving room.
It's better
with Allen Robinson.
Well, sorry.
With Keenan Allen, Keenan Allen has been, for him to go from a number 1 guy with the Chargers, being a solid wide receiver when he was playing, to now be number 2 behind DJ Moore, another wide receiver who has been consistent, like always showing up for his team. Thank God they got him out of the Panthers. And then Rome Odunze, you can get that, high ceiling. Some people put in Odunze as the best wide receiver in this draft. All with Caleb Williams, who looked really good in the postseason. And, you look over at the Commanders and their third guy is, Luke McCaffrey. Byron Pringle's coming off the bench. Like, I
kind of like McCaffrey. I'm in.
I just, Olamide Zaccheaus. I'm just saying, while there is talent still probably in this wide receiving room, it's a lot more developed.
You
and
would
a
take
lot
a
more
Dunze over Zaccheaus.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yes.
But
print the poster.
I do agree with you, but just to talk it out, like, there is a world where just the vertical threat of the Commanders' offense and just the way that Jaden Daniels likes to play, like if it clicks with some of the deep ball stuff, it could just be like there's more passing yards to go around in the Commanders' offense, and you get a deep threat like De'Ame Brown. Maybe it's like 7 or 8. Maybe he's not like a top 20 receiver, but if you got 800 yards and 5 touchdowns as a guy who's just going undrafted right now, that's my best deep cut for fantasy. De'Ame Brown. Get your eyes on De'Ame Brown. That's my Isaiah Hodgins.
And this is where we start getting into like who is a good team, who is good, and who is better for fantasy. The difference between whether good at football, good at fantasy, and some players are good at both, but like there's a reason Mahomes isn't the number one pick in the number one draft, just because fantasy is different. So, yeah, there may be times that maybe the Commanders will get more points, just because of their offense is higher scoring.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, we'll see. We'll see if that, really translated into being better, or are they just better at exposing the bad teams out there? Kind of like the Dolphins last year.
No, I'm definitely more leaning toward the Commanders could be like a fun, higher scoring team versus actually, I guess that would make them a feisty team to play, but versus a team that actually ends up winning a lot of games. But I had George Pickens, Romeo Doubs, Khalil Shakur, De'Ami Brown, and then Jameson Williams. I feel like you would probably, are you picking Williams out of that list as the guy you like the most? George Pickens, Romeo Doubs, Jameson Williams, Khalil Shakur, and De'Ami Brown.
You said picking Dobbs out of that list?
Who would you like between the guys that we went through, between Pickens, Dobbs, Jameson Williams, Khalil Shakur, and De'Ami Brown?
I think the easy answer is Jameson Williams, but it's just because it's already a system and he's just adding to it. The other ones, it's definitely figuring out their identity. Some of those are number one wide receivers, like they're going to be the main people to look at. And if, maybe a defensive coordinator says we're shutting this guy down today. But I think Jameson Williams is definitely like a compliment to the team. And if I had to take someone in fantasy, I would probably take Williams just because, it may start out rough earlier in the year as he finds his groove. But if you're looking for a breakout player, like a really boomer bust guy, I'd take Jameson for that. But if you're looking for more solid guys, I would pick Pickens. I'd put Pickens. If you're looking for like a solid 8 to 10 points every week, I'd go with Pickens.
Let's see. Pickens is going pick 73 right now. So he's going pick 29.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put up a poll and see what the
We do want.
people think between Jameson Williams and George Pickens. Let's do a rapid fire Jameson Williams would you rather real quick. Would you rather Jameson Williams or Christian Kirk for this upcoming season?
I feel Williams, not paid as much.
Christian Kirk is wide receiver 36. Jameson Williams, like we said, wide receiver 48. So you can get Christian Kirk 20 spots, or Jameson Williams, 30 spots later than Christian Kirk. Would you rather Jameson Williams or... You were saying earlier you were a little hesitant about Ravens receivers. Jameson Williams or Zay Flowers? Like, would you rather have Zay Flowers as the pick number... Let me see. Pick number 63 or Jameson Williams as pick 130?
I definitely would Jameson Williams 130.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
a pretty tough to beat.
Okay. Jameson Williams or Stephon Diggs, pick 36.
I think we'd still go Diggs.
Okay. Wide receiver 3
that
on
offense.
a potentially stacked offense?
Or the number one on a even faster offense,
Yeah, you never know. Okay. I'm all in with going with Jameson Williams, but we can give it some time. We got to narrow down to Pickens and Jameson Williams. I love either of those choices, so that's pretty great. Can we actually we want to take a quick break before we get to
go into
corners?
the Pearson truth? Yeah.
Coming up next, to stay tuned.
Oh.
Stay tuned for why we're going to be
playing.
playing football in the Olympics without the greatest quarterback of all time. Coming up next. Okay, we're off, I think. We don't even have to get very here. I'm just checking a couple things. Wait, who's Kenny? Kenny, our viewer? Oh, Kenny's just dropping in with some takes. Bro, Kenny, just keep listening. We'll talk him into it. Should we just start talking to Kenny? Anyway. Hi, Naya. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're fully
that
back.
That was some good music. That was some good spring air music. I was in.
Did we like the song selection? Nothing wrong with the little
I love it.
copyright-free music. Maybe we'll.
Are we recording on Zoom?
Are we?
Or is it just?
No, we don't.
No, we're not. Okay, we're all good.
We're chilling. But
I do gotta say, I am a little disappointed that our first real viewer comment is Trump 2024. But you know.
Oh no, buddy! Get back into the other episodes.
I'm calling out Kenny. I'm sorry, Kenny. You know. But at least we got, 3 people watching. 2 of them may be me and a friend of the show. Nah, but my girlfriend. But hey, look, that's more than 0. So, Rem promises he doesn't have his stream up. So,
No, I got Raiders. I'm with Papa Price right now. I got Raiders, Niners on in the back.
Oh, is someone put something in the chat? What's that in the chat?
Do we got chat action? I don't have the chat.
We got some chat action. We just got, double the comments.
Is it more Trump voters?
No, thank God not. Thank God not. W's in the chat. We're the chat's doing something.
Let me see if I can find the chat.
I just feel like I show speed. You just yeah. Or what's his face? Pretty much any streamer just yells at the chat. Chat. W's in the chat.
I know the chat's always the move.
Always yelling at the chat.
The chat's always clutch.
Were you having this much chat action last stream?
No, the chat was dead last time.
Yikes.
But it's okay because it was more of a secret test stream than anything. It was for the fans.
Maybe we gotta put you put it on the story or something. Rem and Sam. The Instagram story you put up, or are we going live on Instagram?
Can we? I'm sure IT can figure it out.
You just punch it in. You just press go live. The only problem is hearing sound from the other side, but.
Okay. What's up, chat? What's up, chat? I got the chat now.
Yeah. There you go. You got the chat. You found it.
We're chilling.
We love the love in the chat. We're chilling.
Okay. Chat, we've got some snacks. We're just gearing up for a good piercing truth. Make no mistake.
Yeah, gearing up. And let's get into it. I guess number
we
one
know
thing
where we're starting.
We got lots of football. It's all football. We can start with Team USA flag football. So earlier this week, pretty much Team USA's flag football current captain got the MVP award at the last Worlds. Pretty much said that NFL players aren't just going to be shoo-ins for the Team USA. They got to earn it. And saying that he's better than the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes, at his job. And he's just better because of his IQ. He's better at flag football than him.
He said because of his IQ, was the main thing.
And, maybe not the IQ, but I do feel like he might be better than Pat Mahomes in terms of, Mahomes, you got to put on weight. You got to be put on weight to take the hit. You got to be a bit bulky, while flag football, you're just supposed to be really agile. Maybe some of the moves you see him doing, you don't really see it. But Lamar Jackson at flag football would be a monster. He would be a monster. You can't, and that's where I'm like, all right. So maybe Patrick Mahomes, he has a point. But, if Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill, and, who else do we put on the list? Pretty much anyone, George Kittle, all say, hey, we're playing on the flag football team. Are you really going to be no, you got to do our 5 rounds of tryouts before you can even think about wearing the Team USA flag? Get out of here.
I don't know. Did you see some of that guy's runs?
Okay, but maybe him, but not the whole team. Like, there's definitely some guys who are knocking off the bench for him. That's
Well,
what I'm
no,
saying.
but the one guy was just talking about himself, you know?
He was doing too much.
He was just saying he was better than
doing too
Mahomes.
much.
Did you see the clips of him actually throwing the ball, though?
Oh, we got 4 people watching.
Kenny's telling his friends. Shout out Kenny.
Kenny, I guess, you know, any viewers are good viewers. Yeah, I don't.
It's just one of those things where it's like, you can't. He's just talking smack so he can get enough, you know, people to start talking about it, and you know, he's just trying to make the headlines. But I guess we got 4 people watching. For anyone joining the pod, the semis are over for UFA. Sorry, y'all, but it was really exciting. The Flyers beat the Cascades 20-16. Minnesota Wind Chill beat DC Breeze 16-13, and yeah, it was really good games, really good to watch. But yeah, back to what we were talking about, flag football. I think there's definitely, maybe not the MVP of the team is getting knocked off automatically. You know, kind of like when you switch from FIBA to Olympic basketball. Like, you keep some of the good players, you know, Anthony Edwards.
Halliburton?
Maybe some of the people. Yeah, but once you start getting into the rest of the team, like, come on, Curry and LeBron are on the team no matter what.
Kyler Murray? Would you like to see Kyler Murray run around out there in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. It does seem like I don't know how much you need to be able to throw the ball, because the one highlight that was going around of him actually throwing, like, make no mistake, the mechanics were way off, but maybe it was just like the situation, you know, he was kind of on the run, just kind of chucking it around, so maybe there's an excuse there. But it does seem like you can just get away with the running thing. So, you know, you could throw Kyler out there. He's smaller, the flag's harder to get.
Yeah, I don't know, but Hosh, is that his
like,
name? Daryl Deshea?
Yeah.
Hosh?
Because I was thinking, you know, in 4 years, is Stroud going to be the guy, like, obviously, at that point, where we just want the best quarterback. But if
Stroud could be good.
If we want the running thing, maybe we're sending Richardson in 4 years. 2028, Anthony Richardson?
Oh, my God.
Team USA, baby? I think it might happen. I think it might
happen. Oh, my gosh. It was funny listening to your Tuesday pod, just hearing the Colts buys. It's just funny how it just pop up.
Wait, what did I say about the Colts?
You're like, oh yeah, we gotta watch Latu and all that. It's just every time, man.
Latu, he's something. Favorite for defensive rookie of the year right now.
He always got a little something to throw out there. But I mean, you look at some of these plays that Daryl is making. You know, he's not a bum. We're not. You know, he's definitely got to move them hips.
The move where he drops down.
Backwards. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
no, those are actually crazy plays.
Tough. Like, I'll give it to him. He probably does know more about intricacies about flag football than Pat Mahomes. But guess who's going to throw dimes every single time? Yeah, exactly.
Pat
is there a reason why Buddy might be good at running so much? You know, so it's just you can't just.
With the way he's dancing around, you could almost send Jackson Mahomes. All right, people, welcome in. It's the Rem and Sam pod.
That's crazy. It's just wild. Another thing, Drewski's NFL draft. Drewski comes out and gives his picks, his top 3 rounds picks, and you're not gonna like them. Don't take draft advice from Drewski.
So he's just drafting like best players?
Yeah, like his normal draft, like top 3 picks in his fantasy draft.
Oh, I got you.
So with his first round pick, I don't know why it says 1.9. He took Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, Drewski. Was this a 2016 fantasy league?
Yeah. They say bros. I think it's 2014. And then his 2.2 pick, was Pat Mahomes. Then 3.9.
Okay, that's not bad.
Was okay, but 3.9 was Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay. I mean, this is a fun team for sure. He's going to sell a lot of jerseys. He's probably going to get 800 combined yards between those two guys, but
it's just some tough.
Did he only give us the top
you're
three?
In on, yeah, I only gave us the top three. He was like on a panel or something doing these picks. But
is Odell Beckham on a team?
Jr., yeah, he's on the Dolphins, man.
Oh, that's right.
He could put up some points, but he's actually got to stay healthy, and he's injured. He's already injured. Oh my gosh, who knew?
At least Mahomes might. The thing is,
the 31-year-old's already.
If you have
injured.
like two good fantasy players, you might win your titles. So if Mahomes is good and he just randomly hits on a later round pick, he might be fine. Zeke might play. Zeke might
maybe
start
Odell
for
hasn't
the
even
Cowboys.
practiced. Yeah, I don't know about Odell though. He hasn't practiced with the Dolphins during training camp because of an undisclosed injury. They're hoping he'll practice before the 8th, but he said he's nervous. He's not nervous about it, but you gotta listen to your body. Is what Mike McDaniel said. So well, I'm just saying,
Ezekiel Elliott's gonna score double digits just for that, just because that happened.
Really?
Now he's gonna be relevant.
Well, he's got a. He's. We'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of out on him, but whatever. Yeah.
Who else are they gonna play? Are they actually gonna play
Tony Pollard?
He's on the Titans.
They also have. Wait, they said. I was reading some preview about it. I don't know why they were talking about Pollard.
But they still have Dowdle, who's kind of nice.
Maybe it was last year's. Dowdle, yeah, they're saying Dowdle to be a breakout guy.
Yeah, I do actually kind of like Dowdle.
Because they're like the percentage of carries that Ezekiel has had, and then what year, how old he is, and then like they almost always drop off after that. So
yeah, for sure.
They're Also shout out CD Lamb on IG. And dog.
Hopefully Drewski got D-Hop too.
Someone. We got Deuce Vaughn.
Who's another 2014
and then also Noah Lyles not knowing who Jokic is I did see someone, I think it was Bleacher Report, posted Noah Lyles like holding the door open for his girlfriend or something. I was like, bro, can we just stop?
Noah Lyles, stop being nice, but also hating.
Can we just stop having him featured at all?
No, he's pushing for it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he knows. Like, the more people say his name, the more it's like saying a ghost name or something.
I mean, the thing is, it's actually worked because he's like famous now, right?
A little bit. Like, give it a year. No one's gonna be knowing who it is.
Oh. Interesting. Because like Bolt had star power all throughout his run. Like, you could throw him in a commercial 2 years in between each one. It wouldn't matter. Like Bolt was still Bolt, but you're right.
Yeah.
Is he gonna have the hype that carries out the same way?
Yeah. And then, did you see this guy who was going after Daniel Jones?
A guy was going after Daniel Jones? I saw Kay Adams going after Daniel Jones.
Yeah, so it was some dude on Twitter named Tea Time said he was like, "Oh, I played against Daniel Jones in high school, and I could have told you 12 years ago he wasn't." And then he just goes on and on for a while, and then it just shows. There's a clip of online. I don't know if you can pull it out. I can send you the post. There's a clip online of Daniel Jones trucking this dude in high school.
Oh.
And he just gets trucked. Yeah, they show him like get trucked. He's like, I know what I mean, high school truck. I mean like stepped over his body, laying on the ground kind of truck. And then the guy who tweeted it, Tony West, he lost 39-6 to sophomore Daniel Jones in a game where he only had 2 carries for 2 yards as a senior. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be still arguing this guy. So it's I don't know. They're showing like him playing college football 25. They're like, this is the closest bro will get to pro football. You know.
Was Daniel Jones trucking him, or was he running for a touchdown and fell down again? And the guy just happened to be in the way. The thing is, Daniel Jones is like a big guy.
He just stepped out of bounds. He would have scored. Yeah, no, I'm telling you. Look at I just sent you the post.
Wait, did you send it in the? Did you drop it in the chat?
Insta? Oh shoot.
Wait, drop it in the chat.
Insta right here. In the chat. Let's see the tape, y'all. All right, and put it in the chat.
Okay, give me a second. We'll get it.
Well, when you step on the field, you know who's going to the lead. I stepped on the field with Daniel Jones and had no fear in my heart. Yeah, we know you had no fear when you stepped on the field. How about when you stepped off? Like, getting tried, like, shoot, you had to be carted out. Like, jeez, bro. Lucky your heart was still working the way he got.
I mean, this guy got like 9.6 mil, though. On the views.
Who? Tito time or whatever? TT time.
So it kind of worked.
That's crazy. To only have 2 carries for 2 yards in your senior season.
Okay, here we go. Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy kind of Iversoned him too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just talking about, oh, I knew he wasn't going to. Like, come on, bro.
Wow.
That they found the clip on, like, Huddle or something. Someone on YouTube is like, hey, I have to find a clip of this. It's the internet. Internet's undefeated, man. You can never beat the internet.
I know who dug through all of Daniel Jones's high school highlights to try to find this clip.
Well, they probably figured out, like, what schools both went to and then just found when the games were against each other.
I know you still got to, like, be like, oh, what's this guy's jersey number?
Watch
I got to track him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, that's actually crazy, but hey, that's why people who don't have jobs do the work for us and we just find it on Instagram. Because you can't be working and doing all that. It's
crazy that there's always that too. Like, of course, the guy that Daniel Jones trucked in high school is the guy that's talking about him in the league. He's like, yeah, this guy is trash. This guy's blah, blah, blah. There's always a highlight that goes with it. There's always something. It's never just some random
like,
guy.
Bro, you know Twitter's going to kill you, right? Like, and that's the point, is that he's famous enough that people actually care for TTO time or whatever his face is.
I was actually just listening back to some old Rosillo life advices again, because it's summer and there's nothing new on. But
you watch his quick interruption. Do you listen to his travel logs?
Yeah, of course I listen to the travel log.
Shout out.
That's chaos. It's great.
But anyway, what was I saying?
But on one of the old life advices, they were talking about one of the stories where I think it was Blake Bortles hit somebody with their like car in a parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And the guy was having the whole sort of same ordeal, but yeah, same thing almost.
That was crazy.
Okay, wait, did you have anything else? I think I might have had a couple things.
No, that was about it. I mean, UFA playoffs. I did just find out one of the teams I had a close tryout with just cracked the top 25, so I could tell that it was a top 25 team when I was playing with them. They had that edge, so it is nice to know that, it's just a little shout out playing with some
I mean, that's it right there.
I mean, I wasn't hanging with them because I got knocked out. Like, they said bye. I never came back. I only had to close because I didn't show up for the Open, but it is it is nice to know, like, I was doing my thing. Like, there was a couple plays I was making there. There's a little bit of something.
It's all on the way up.
Prayers.
Did you see this video of JD Vance at a donut shop?
I thought about pulling it up. It was hilarious. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna... I'm JD Vance running for
Who does
vice
that?
president.
I've never heard anybody say that.
It's like,
All right. Wow. Cool, bro.
Okay.
I just put the fries in the back. Imagine the person behind the counter telling JD Vance to just put the fries in the back. That's crazy.
Who introduces
Crazy talk.
themselves?
Sorry, Kenny. Sorry, going after JD.
Is I'm JD Vance. Yeah, hopefully we don't go down to 3. We don't want to lose Kenny, but
No.
I mean, for one, nobody runs as vice president. The vice president is the Dwight Schrute of the president. They're the assistant to the president. The president runs, and the vice president is there to be his running
Did
mate.
we lose all our viewers? Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all gone now. But yeah, there was JD Vance at a donut shot going, "Oh, okay, hi, I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president." Is
Like who? What? Okay.
classic. Chick-fil-A is launching a streaming service.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
don't know
Look
if
at
you
that.
saw
We
that.
just have the same Instagram.
We've got the same.
I
page.
mean, it's already up. It's called PureFlix. But I don't really know,
Oh wait, that's Chick-fil-A.
No, it's not. But it might as well be. How bad it is.
I believed you.
Yeah, no, it's but there is yeah. It's definitely
PureFlix is definitely going to be their main competition, but my
Yeah.
grandma's going to be locked in on the Chick-fil-A streaming service. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, shout out.
Shout out.
Age demographic.
Yeah, she loves a good wholesome movie, but also, did you see the Angel Reese's Pieces collab?
Yeah, that was great.
I want to
One
get
of
a
the
hoodie.
better ones this year.
Yeah,
I love them. I love them.
These pieces are actually pretty sick, and
Yeah.
some of the branded stuff, especially with brands like this, I mean, it can be cool, but can also be really corny. Like, okay, I'm gonna wear
Yeah.
like an M&M's logo. I get logos are cool, but at what point is it just like I'm just throwing on any logo? But the whole design, the A in the Reese's font where they have the A on the hoodie with the halo, the Reese's Pieces halo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Reese's, hook us up. I don't know if is this like a Reese's, Adidas, or Puma and Angel Reese? I think it's just Reese's
Something. Just Reese's
putting out their
Pieces.
stuff.
Yeah, I think.
But those are all pretty sick. I saw that. And then did you see this new iPhone update where text messages now? So you used to be, old red receipts, it just shows you when the message is open when you open it up in the app. But now it'll show you when when you read it in your notifications. So if you open the text in your notifications, it'll show read from notifications at a certain time and then actually open
Are you serious?
at a certain time. Here, I'll send it to you on Instagram. But
That's stupid.
this is iOS 18. Why is iPhone doing this?
That looks fake.
Are they trying to lose people?
That looks fake.
Is this fake? Let's hope it is, because this would be insane, but it does feel... Is it just one day? No, August 26th or November 17th.
That's when it starts. That's when it starts.
$13.99 unlimited pasta. $5.
Wow,
Throw some meatballs on there.
Yeah, no, it's on.
This-
Sounds like Conky Dong.
This was the only thing about Olive Garden that made it worth going to, was the unlimited food, right? I mean, what else do you get at Olive Garden besides unlimited soup and salad? Like now when they got rid of the unlimited pasta. Like what else do you actually go in and get a real meal? If you go to an Olive Garden?
I mean, I did back in the day. I can't eat much at Olive Garden.
Yeah, that's right, because you got the...
I am cheese. Can't
the
dairy,
stuff,
so... But yeah, no, I mean, I'm a fan of when Applebee's does the unlimited wings. I've missed the last couple of ones, but if I ever see it again, I don't care. I'll go on my own.
What's the
I'll do my big
Applebee's
back
scene like in
activities
the
on my own.
Bay? Are there a ton of Applebee's out there?
There's some Applebee's. I don't know.
Does your lady like Applebee's?
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. There might be some glances thrown. We might have to make it a double. Might have to be more than one person going. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll have to go together.
It turns out it's a date night.
It's a date night. It's a date. Throw it on the calendar.
We have plans now. No, Applebee's is great. Who doesn't love Applebee's?
We'll see.
Wings, Margs.
No, I love Applebee's. No, Applebee's is great. Dollaritas. You ever done the Dollaritas?
Oh, I forgot about the Dollaritas. Oh, no.
Dollaritas. I got to go one
You're
time.
talking me back into going to Applebee's.
And then if you go later at night, was it after 8? They do half off apps. So you get like, what, $10, 20 wings. That's like 16, 17 wings. You know, it's like the boneless. But it's still decent. And then you get a couple Dollaritas. You can get filled up. Or they have like those, they're not enchiladas, but they're like sandwiches or something. Or like huge. I'm telling you, Applebee's, back in the day when I over in Iowa, not many options. Late night. Hanging out with friends.
That's the thing.
You're looking for half-off apps.
There's not just like that food culture around here where you're just going to get the random pop-up. Like you'll get local spots,
exactly.
but just in terms of like actual restaurants to go sit down to. I mean, it is the big chains that are really going to dominate everything. So you just end up going to a place like that. And then, you're just hanging out at an Applebee's late at night or like a Perkins or something. But I haven't hit up there in a minute. The champ might be getting a DM right after this. We might be at an Applebee's. We might be at an Applebee's this weekend. I don't know.
See. Is it still open? Do they still have that?
Do we have to wrap this up so you guys can get to an Applebee's?
Oh, it's back. It's still in. Oh gosh.
Oh, the Applebee's reopened.
Oh. So it does the wings. You can do the shrimp or the riblets.
Wait. Unlimited wings are back?
Yeah. It's all you can eat, $15.99, $16, but it is a lot of meat when you think about it.
Hey, yo. Okay, people, thanks for joining us. We're going to go to Applebee's.
Yeah, all right, see ya.
That's it.
There you go. Plus unlimited fries? Jeez.
Wow.
I'm making myself hungry just looking at it.
That's just how you know. Anytime a restaurant throws unlimited on something, we're in. That's just the secret. Just make it unlimited.
We're in.
I'm going there.
Oh, there might be something in the chat. What's the chat?
Do we have to pull the chat back up?
Question from the chat. Our first ever shout out.
What's
friend
up,
of
chat?
the pod. Chat, what's up, chat? Here we go. TGIF Fridays or Applebee's.
Oh.
We're answering live. What are you? I mean, for me, it's easy Applebee's, but I haven't been to TGIF. And since I was like 5, so
yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say the same thing. I've never really been to a TGI Fridays. I know I've been a couple times when I was a little kid, but
Fridays, guys.
How much unlimited stuff does TGIF Fridays have?
That's true. How much unlimited stuff does TGIF Fridays do? I mean, I've seen their food like in Walmart and stuff. Like you can get it at the store, but I've never gone and actually eaten there. I've seen some interesting, I definitely get the vibes of what it is, but I've never really been there. I don't know. Sorry, chat. I think we're sticking with Applebee's on this one, but it is unlimited.
Oh, okay. So there is some happy hour stuff. There's some 50-cent wings.
$5. Oh, 50-cent wings.
Okay, Chad, I'm open to looking into a TGI Fridays. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I've never been.
Let's see, promotions. Yeah, $5. Who knows? We're pulling up the promotions right now. What do they got? $5, 50-cent wings. But that's every Monday, 5 to close. You see? So you got to go in a certain day. You can't, the unlimited, you can go anytime.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to have to take a break from the unlimited wings at Applebee's at some point. They're not going to want to see me in the Applebee's every day.
If you get sick and tired of the unlimited wings at Applebee's, then you can have the unlimited shrimp at Applebee's or the unlimited riblets.
Oh, they have riblets?
They have riblets. Riblets are one of the things.
Oh no!
Bye. We might actually shut down the stream. And we're just doing a 20-minute ad run for Applebee's right now.
Yeah, IT, cut this out. That's too much praise for Applebee's.
We can't cut it out. We're live.
We're live. It is what it is. Applebee's is just getting the free promo.
What, you want me to read their marketing speak. Our riblets, crafted from the most tender meaty pork, delivered.
Meaty pork.
I'm not actually
crazy.
It's wild. All right. Yeah, that was our frisbee stuff, and then soccer. You know, usual complaint about Chelsea. I don't know if I've told you this already. They have like 43 players, when normally on a team you want 21. And here, let me see if I can send you a video. They recently posted a video of everyone working out in their gym. And it's supposed to be like a cool promotional thing. And it looks jam-packed. Like when I tell you people don't have space to breathe, it's like, this is not the flex y'all think it is. So let me see if I can pull it up here. But it's just they keep buying new players and they don't, you know. So my team's a mess. But it is something that I think is true for teams here too, is that when you have a bad owner, there's nothing you can do. You can see it just drags down your team no matter what. And to go from, yes, oligarch, you know, Russian guy, you know, probably helping out Putin, you know, whatever, details.
Maybe
to go
Putin's
to Todd
involved in
Bowley,
Chelsea.
some American, I don't know, some American and Todd Bowley who, you know, doesn't really know what he's doing. Clear Lake, like Capital, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just buying players left and right. And players are coming because Chelsea is giving these huge contracts, you know, 5 to 10 years, huge money. And they're making it longer so they can stretch out the money over that time. But, you know, it's making it attractive for all these players to come because that's guaranteed money. But it's like, is this really going to be better for the players? Because they're not going to have playing time. And the coach himself has said, I only know, like, only 20 players. He probably only knows 20 players out of the 43. But he said he's only going to play 21 out of the 43 players. So literally half the team is there to wear a jersey and practice because they're never gonna show up on the team sheet.
Are these guys
And
on like normal
crazy.
contracts? Did they just like randomly sign just like 22-way guys? Like, for what?
Yeah, I mean they pick up here, they're like they sign them on or they take them from the youth academy, but it's not enough players for like to go to be loaned or something. And you know, obviously there's talent, but it's just like what is going on? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so dumb. I'm trying to find this. Maybe they deleted it. Let me see if I can find it. Chelsea Gym. Yeah, if this is TikTok,
Wait, what am I looking for?
It's like Chelsea Gym video. It might be on YouTube.
I think it might come up pretty easily.
You know.
Oh, well, maybe not.
Oh.
What happened to Bellingham? I just saw Bellingham went down with an injury.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I saw it too.
I saw that on the TV at work today. He's going to be out for like a month. What does that do to the soccer landscape?
Real Madrid will be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a problem with these players playing all these games. I mean, he just came from Euros and a whole full season, and now he's playing, like, even more games, and, you know, they're just bound to get injured when they have that many games that they're just going through. So, let's see if it's coming up. Here you go. Is this it? Yeah. This is, like, shocking video.
Okay, here we go.
Now, let me see if I put it on the chat. 42 players. Okay, here you go. I don't know if you can show it for the stream, but here you go. Show it for the people at home. Just put it in the chat. 42 players. I mean, imagine trying to get sets done in there.
Okay, for some reason we're lagging. I think we can get it though.
Did you get the link in the chat?
I got it, but I don't know if we're going to be able to show it on the stream.
Oh, no.
We'll keep working on it. We'll see what happens.
See, IT, get in there.
IT, what are we paying you for? What do you do if not IT stuff?
Yeah. But beyond that, yeah, that was about it for all they had.
Oh,
Shout
well,
out
RIP
to
the
us
highlight. I don't know if we'll
streaming
be able
live.
to get it.
No, it's all good.
We'll work out the kinks. I feel like we almost did it kink free. Even though there's no
pause.
kink judgment here. We just didn't have any. Do we wrap it up on the kink
be about
note?
it. Yeah, shout out Pure
That's
Vita.
about it, yeah.
If bracelets or ankle bracelets or rings are your kink, you can get some at Pure Vita. Did get a pretty positive review. Bought some earrings for someone.
And that's good
friend
too.
of the
You were
pod.
saying you were
Of course,
getting
a girlfriend.
you were
And
getting some of the
he
jewelry.
wears it all the time. Even though it wasn't the original order because they didn't get it right, they still came through with the other earrings, and they're being well loved, well worn.
Shout out to Pure Vita for fixing their mistakes, for working
Shout
with
out.
us. But yeah, I've only ever done the wristbands, you know, a couple of anklets, and yeah, you know, just some basic stuff. But yeah, they got the jewelry, the earrings, the necklaces. Pure Vita, they got it all. Shout out.
They got it all. They got it all. And BetStamp got it all as well. You're looking for odds on pretty much any game, the best ones in the business. Get on BetStamp. They got you. Yeah, no, they're definitely a one-stop shop, especially with, like we mentioned, NFL around the corner.
Yeah.
NBA catching up pretty quick here. College football, it's week 0 this week. You know, games are going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Games are next week. Do games start next week?
Yeah, we get like officially games start firing up next week, and that's a great point as well too, because that's where BetStamp is really great, just in the like the individual games, especially getting all the different lines and the spreads and comparing the markets, comparing the odds across the different sportsbook on the market is a very great thing that BetStamp does. So yeah, with all these games, it's going to be great to have that resource to help you guys with your betting stuff this off season or main season, you know. But yeah, anyways, I think that about does it. So this was great. The first time live. Thank you guys for anybody that jumped on. Make sure you guys follow the feeds as well too. I think we're at Rem and Sam, at Rem and Sam podcast across all the different stuff. So we'll see. Instagram live. I know Sam mentioned that earlier. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we'll just start going live on all kinds of different platforms. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know if. Yeah, I'm trying to think how you do it. If you just had, like, the phone set up next to the, like, a speaker or something. I don't know. A mic or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think how best to get it going.
That sounds like at least half an idea. We're going to red-green show it and figure out a way to workshop a plan.
We'll figure it out.
To get it out there. But
maybe push them to get onto the YouTube. It's just a heads up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
But no football back next week. We'll think of something.
Yeah. But we do have college football, so there's that. But yeah, make sure you tune in to next week. Live again. Make sure you tune in to Tuesday, live with Rem. And look out on Instagram. At least we'll post a little something. I mean, I can post something telling we're live. I want to make sure to let people know. And TikTok, YouTube, make sure you're tapped in. Rem told you already the deets. On Tuesday, check Tuesday's pod to hear about our new pod schedule. And that should be about it. And Applebee's, rev up them fryers.
Applebee's, get ready. We're coming.